Hello and welcome everyone to day number 2 of the official Rondo Royale. The first showcase for the new map PUBG Mobile is added. Dave, baby, we were here yesterday, right? Round number 2 today. You got to be as excited as me for this.
Rondo Royale, $5,000 on the line, man. I am looking forward to it. The first ever esports event sanctioned by the PUBG Mobile gods here tonight. So like you said, last night, 5 games, pretty exciting. We got 5 more today to wrap this event up and really see who the cream of the crop is on this brand new map.
Yeah, and the new map, for the most part, guys, if you haven't played it, it is absolutely fantastic. Let's give a little bit of a refresher day for the people who maybe missed yesterday. Which teams are competing here tonight? For the most part, we're talking top 16 of our North American squads. We'll do a brief once over of some of these squads, but you were a fan of a lot of these teams yesterday, Dave.
Yes, I was, and I still am a fan. All right, we might have started slow, but today is what matters. And some of these teams, they definitely did pick up the slack throughout the evening, right? So more specifically, talking about my squad, the Zombie Boys, they had 2 back-to-back second places, if I recall, last night to end the night on a high note. Zero Fox Given also had a pretty decent end to the night. So hopefully these teams that started a little slower, they're ready, they're prepared. They did some VOD review and they are locked in tonight, baby.
Yeah, and how little Rondo has been out the VOD review. You and I are really laying into it, that final match of these teams coming in. Let's bring up that prize pool of what we're really kind of playing for, that $5,000 mark. You were talking about first place tonight after the 5 matches are played here. We're talking $2,000 for first place. After that, it goes to $900 and then $450. And then luckily, everyone else afterwards, Dave, they get a piece of the pie.
A piece of the pie. So everybody's going to be walking away with some type of money in the pocket. But of course, that first place, that's where you want to be. And well, talking about first place, yesterday we had 2 standout teams who really just dominated the battlefield on Rondo here. So really, let's check them out if you don't mind, because I need a refresher. Here it is. The 2 teams at the top, a head-to-head right here for you, Enigma.
Yeah, and both of these squads, I mean, 7,000 damage after 5 games. We're talking that's over 1,000. The quick maths in my head each game, both of them just next to each other, neck and neck for the elims. And most of these elims, the 44 liquid events here, all came in that final match, right? We saw the bloodbath that happened at each and every compound. It really was just a sight to see for the most part for these squads. But with Coops and Friends, that survival time being 4 minutes longer than Liquid Vince here, it shows that they're getting a lot of those placement points coming through. Let's bring in that overall for us to really kind of see how it goes head to head for these squads. 69 points, Dave, to 56. The rank points are starting to add up.
They are definitely adding up. And by the way, make sure PUBG Mobile Esports NA, add us over there. Let us know who your favorite team, favorite player, favorite aspect of Rondo is, because it's been crazy so far, and we still got half of the event to go. But talking about the leaderboards here, yeah, that second page on that right hand side, 5 more games, Enigma. Tonight's the night. They got to lock in. They got to bring the pickaxes. They got to bring the tasers. They got to bring it, baby. All right. They got to lock in.
Hey, it's all about locking in. We saw the deployable flares, the EV bus coming into play, the EMP zone stalling people a little bit. And of course, those sort of hard terrain covers getting made from the players themselves. And I'm all for it with the pickaxes coming into play, right? I wanted to see more of it. Obviously, the stun gun, BM, elim, I'm wanting to see that today. Hopefully one of these squads near the top, if they have that dominant end game performance, can do just that. But we're not talking just the top teams, Dave, right? We also saw that MVP ranking, that $200, which, by the way, chat, that will be posted on the socials afterwards. It will not be announced tonight on broadcast. It'll be on all the socials everywhere to see who walks away with that $200. But let's bring up that race to MVP for everyone to see, because we're really looking at these top 2 performers in the lobby.
Yes, sir. And looking at the top, Baton and Gulang, they have been just performing out of their minds so far. This was only one night, so 5 games, by the way, 20 eliminations for a single player. those are some good numbers right there. Good numbers without doubt. So looking beneath we got Coops in the third too. So we got Coops kind of tied for that second place, and then right behind them is Zing Zing from Liquid with 12. So definitely some players that we've been seeing all last night. They're going to be at the top here, but these are our top 2 as it stands right now.
Yeah, we understand. Obviously, there's 5 more games. It could switch from just these 2 players, but for the most part, I mean, moneymakers, they're not even in our top 2 spot, right? They're not in that upper bracket. So Baton being able to be up here essentially in that first place position shows that he's putting in the damage. He's getting those elims where it matters most. And obviously the survival time is right up there with the rest of the squad. My only concern is if you're the moneymakers team, you're not in that top 2 placements. Are you all able to support Baton? Are you all able to make it into that end game? Because that squad timer that I was hyping up a lot yesterday, these sort of teams that are able to keep 4 members up into the late game, that's my new favorite stat, I think, coming into 2025. Hopefully we could see more of it. It's because
why is that? Break it down.
I feel like for these top teams that make it into the end game, the teams that are able to keep 4 players up the longest, they're due essentially either to get the elims or the placement points. If you're a team that's able to keep all 4 members up, and yeah, maybe you don't have elims going into the first 3, maybe 4 circles, essentially you get that zone bus, I expect you to be able to put work, because that means if you have 4, you hopefully have the damage. Hopefully you're able to recognize where these other teams are kind of lacking in terms of maybe they lost a player early on in the game. So I always correlate it to that end game finish where we like seeing all that hectic battles and stuff like that. And even with Rondo, right, you can make your own terrain. You can be doing everything with the pickaxes. The vehicles come into play. Everything matters the most on this map. And I see it as just with the lack of experience in terms of everyone not having hundreds of games on the map yet, the best is keeping 4 players alive.
Yeah, the terrain destruction was pretty cool to see yesterday. Yeah. Just like all the different divots in the ground from like previous grenade battles or whatever, you know, it's pretty unique. I believe you can dig a maximum of 1.3 meters, so that's pretty deep. And then another thing, one of the key takeaways for me that we saw yesterday, especially towards like the late game and the last like 4v4, 3v4 fights or whatnot, before you get that winner chicken dinner, was the usage of the concrete cement barriers. I mean, that was clutch right there. There was even a moment, by the way, if you didn't catch last night, go back and watch it. I think it was game 5. No, it was the one that everybody was trying to get Zero Fox given. That was game 5, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was
solo. It was a solo from Moneymakers. He tossed like 3 of those concrete barriers right on top of the dip that Zero Fox was holding down. And it really put a lot of pressure on that squad. Honestly, like, they didn't really know what to do in that moment. And that's understandable because you got concrete blocks falling from the sky, blocking your sight line. So that was a pretty unique usage, in my opinion, of that new addition to Rondo.
Yeah, and I think the deployable covers, especially there, it's just you see a throwable, maybe you didn't catch if it was a frag or something, and then right next to you, you know, a cinder block lands at your feet. So really kind of the wake-up call to be like, hey, you know, guys, let's settle down a bit. Don't be peeking me too much, or else maybe out of the tree or something, a cinder block will land right on your head. But fortunately enough for them, I believe Zero Fox actually did live in that engagement, right? They were able to take out the Moneymakers player, but then immediately afterwards, it was Dauntless that came around and kind of shot him in the back. So I'm all for the deployable cover. Maybe it could be more than just Rondo. Imagine that in some places like Erangel or Miramar. That'd be a crazy concept, right, to say the least. And I think honestly it would add a lot more kind of gameplay for these squads to really go through. My idea of it is with those sort of blocks and stuff like that on the ground, it makes it hard for these teams that like those vehicle rotations to really be able to go for those run over kills. For these squads that deal with it, it's a lot of kind of back and forth of if you know where the cinder blocks are at, right?
Yeah, without doubt. Like, I can see it being a easy addition. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 is almost underway. The players, they're getting locked in. They're going to be boarding the plane. And Rondo, we sometimes got 1, we sometimes got 2 separate planes on this map. Very unique aspect of the game as well. Rondo, game 1, almost here, Enigma. Let me ask you real quick. Game 1 predictions, all right? Last night we were kind of talking about them. We both had it horribly wrong in game number one. Tonight we got a little more knowledge on the squads. You know, we recognize them a little more. Who do you have?
I've got Liquid Vincier. They finished off strong that 5th match. They were a little bit slow in the previous 4, but I'm hoping that momentum carries over. That dirt ball carries over from yesterday into today.
Man, did you even watch Joe Dirt? You said you were gonna watch it. Oh man, the dirt
slipped
ball
my mind.
Slipped your mind. So we got you picked over there for that squad. I'm gonna be going. I'm still sticking. Game 1, Zombie Boys. All right, Zombie Boys back-to-back second places. Last time we saw them last night. This is their moment to get that winner chicken dinner to really kickstart their night here on a high note. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax. We got 5 games of Rondo right here, right now. Lock in. Rondo Royale, $5,000 on the line.
On the line for Rondo. You got to get hyped. Come on, we're bringing it back. He said, what, 100 times yesterday? We were saying Rondo. We're going to make it 200 today, Dave. Okay, we got to bring it in. Yeah, the Rondo counter. Clint in the back, he's got one of those tickers. Just every time we say it, baby, get us the end game number. But for 5,000, man, I mean, for 10 total matches, there's a lot at stake for these players, right? And obviously, it's a new map. Maybe people are still kind of learning the ropes of it for Rondo. But to see us being able to see our top squads from North America, right, be able to compete and really kind of see all the nooks and crannies that this map and the mechanics that we have to offer, it's something that's really a sight to see.
Wow, what a nice skin. I never even seen this one. The dragon bone skin over here out. I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh in the sky. Blue eyes dragon over here. This is sick. I like this a lot. Now, PUBG Mobile, there's a lot of cool, unique skins, but this one's a top 5 right here for me.
Yeah.
This is a top 5.
Well, it's also for, you know, just the glider, right? I think we've seen some where you're riding like a hoverboard and all that. So really kind of nice to say the least. But I'm always a fan of the fake makeshift ghillie outfits, I guess. I know there's a crow outfit in the game that very few players have. That's always been something that I wanted. But we're seeing it now, of course. We're going to have to put a note into it.
Did you ever get it?
Dave, but no, I never did actually. I think it might have been region locked was the reason. So I had to have maybe been unfortunate stuff. I really was hoping maybe one of the devs could. Maybe, hey, if you guys are listening, the pro outfit, full black ghillie, let me know if you can make it happen.
Well, you know what? The blue eyes dragon glider skin, parachute skin, not going to help Frady here. Frady is going to be the first player knocked out here of the night. Match number 1, immediately spotted through the window, tried to prone in. Well, not flushed out yet. Not flushed out yet. So it's going to be X-Force over here trying to make some moves. X-Force in particular, they have a lot of ground. A lot of ground to make up from last night's performance. We saw them, you know, here and there, but as it stands right now, they are in 13th position overall. About 57 points behind first place Coops and Friends. So to jump into game number 1, try to get a squad wipe, that is exactly what they need to do on their mission of playing catch up here tonight.
Yeah, and luckily for them, it is going to be against a 3-man in the lobby. Unfortunately, Extreme Slayers only having 3 of their 4 members here. And for X-Force, it's all about getting that momentum going. Get at least some elims under your belt. You want to make sure you all push this as a squad, not one by one, because we've seen it, right? Especially with a lot of these players picking up the JS9. It melts players so fast in these CQC positions. I'm really hoping that X-Force is able to kind of clutch up on this 3v4 fight in the compound and hopefully secure themselves these extra points.
Looks like Frady was picked up. Still going to be looking for some heals, though. Starting to see the push come in. Molotov on the second story. Block those sight lines. Allow X-Force to push in through this current point here. A lot of movement happening. I don't know if X-Force are aware of the off angle from Extreme Slayers. I highly doubt it, but let's see if that even matters here, as it does look like free now going to start to make this push. There goes one. There goes another one. 2 members down right now for Extreme Slayers, leaving just a solo in a dream.
Yeah, it looked like one of the Extreme Slayers players tried to kind of hide behind the door. Unfortunately, though, getting push from both angles at the same time results in you getting picked off. And now X-Force, they heard the nade pull. They understand where that last player is. And Sour, he actually just won with the pre-nade and a thirst. So X-Force is a little bit too active, maybe having one player take that 2 now.
Wow.
Going down, but X-Force 3 elims. I'm not sure if we wanted to really see Serums get eliminated there like that, though, Dave.
Yeah. Hey, 1 for 1 right there. I'll take that. As a solo, I'll take that all day because that's like a gotcha, you know, sucker type of thing right there. But yeah, X-Force should have moved a little more there as a unit. You know, I get it. It's early. You're thirsty. You're playing catch up. You see red, and that's all. You know, that's all you go for right there. Those eliminations. But they are going to be losing one of their squad mates very early on. It is going to set them back here just a tad. But hey, couple elims so far. 3 to be exact. So they are definitely on the right foot. Now, talking about the right foot. Zero Fox given out here. All 4 still alive. They're going to be out here rotating, looking for a spot to call home. Zero Fox given. Oh, they're on the chase, actually, of Burn and Silence. We got some drive-by action happening.
Yeah, rotate maybe a little bit too spread. You're going to be allowing that sort of caboose from BIS to get caught out in the open. Unfortunately, not even a knock going their way on the Zero Fox given. So BIS a little bit too spread on their rotation now, potentially having to deal with a 3v4 engagement if CFG chooses to chase them down. And Bella Fox, I know you're probably watching there on the camera and stuff like that. Make sure you're rooting for your squad because we were all day yesterday, and we love seeing these teams, right, Dave? They come in, they try the new map, they experience everything it has to offer. And we can even see it here. The vehicle explosion, the terrain stuff, it's always something new that these players can learn.
Yeah, tonight's the night. Tonight is the night for a lot of these squads on the second page of the leaderboards to really play catch up. And Zero Fox given, well, looks like they're living up to their name here, at least in game number 1. They are just out here. They are just running and gunning, looking for all the so team washed out here. Chief on forever up here on the rooftop 4 times N4. Just taking some shots out there in the distance. They are going to be right here on the edge of the play zone. So pretty much just setting up shop right here to see who they can catch off guard on their early game rotations.
Yeah, it looks like that circle shift. We didn't really take much note of it, but it pulled all the way down south, the edge of Jadena City and the likes of the Garden area, or all around kind of that southern edge. These squads are going to have to, if they were rotating around, team washed and stuff like that, there's only 2 or 3 bridges on this side of the map. Potential bridge camps going on. I know a lot of people hate all the way out into the blue zone to really make themselves safe from the bridge camps. But now we're seeing it. SON, this is going to be up on that edge as well, actually down southwest side, trying to take some shots onto the money makers. And I'd honestly be worried if I was SON. Yesterday we saw him drop, what was it, a 10 elim game?
Yeah, they had a good game.
Points.
They had a good game.
But if it's against money makers, the squad that loves taking these early game engagements, I'd be honestly scared taking these shots on.
They do love it. They do love it. But straight up, Paul, they love it a little more, man. They need to play catch up out here. They had that one really phenomenal game, like you mentioned, 10 eliminations, and it was night and day. The good thing is, though, that was game number 5, right? So hopefully they can kind of come into tonight with that same energy, that same momentum, that same mindset, and really just play their hearts out. But yeah, I totally agree. Money makers, definitely one of the stronger teams in the lobby just based off of their performance last night. Currently top 5 is where they stand, with most of the points actually being from eliminations. So they had 33 eliminations and only 6 rank points. So Moneymakers, probably one of the most aggressive squads, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, I agree, a squad that I would not want to find myself near early game, because all they do is get into skirmishes.
Well, these 2 squads we're seeing right now, Most Wanted and Dauntless, they've been essentially holding hands. A lot of these positions, these fights that have been going on, both of them actually tied, I believe, on the leaderboard, both at 47 total points. Dauntless having a few more elims, but Most Wanted making it into the latter half of these matches for those placement points. And, you know, we have a lot of recognizable names on these squads, right? We're seeing Tensa, Valix, Nox, people that have played in lots of either Titan series or obviously PMSLs and stuff like that. It's always a nice sight to see these players coming back again and again. I always wish, of course, that my favorite players could be in the first place spot, but unfortunately, there's only going to be one champion each tournament, right?
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to like when Enigma's gonna put back on
Yeah.
the boots and get in here and
They
slay
always
out.
ask. They always ask,
happens?
or with EFC, man, they ask, you know, hey, can we use your
The
team name? And
Enigma
I say,
fan
listen,
club.
man,
That's crazy, dude. You had your own team. That's respect right there.
the respect. And
A
Coops, I
legacy.
mean, he even was playing on that squad for a bit. He had my face on his jersey at one point, guys, in case you forgot. So,
In case you forgot.
respect the elders. Respect the old man that is Enigma now, but
Who would you have on your squad? So we got you.
Ooh.
Say fantasy picks here. Who is anybody, any era of PUBG
Any
Mobile?
era. Wow.
Yeah,
this is
and
a
we're
sick
talking
one
like
here.
prime. You know, like you're in their prime. Everybody's in their prime. Any
Well,
era.
it's gotta be Coops #1, right?
Coops.
He's just him, and he still is him in a lot of these lobbies. So Coops, I gotta go with Tensa from back in the day. Tensa,
gotcha.
I felt he was just a slaughterhouse back in Team Totality and stuff
Tommy
like
Gun
that.
Tensa. That's what I used to
Tommy
call him.
Tensa, yep.
I
He
used
had
to
that
call him. He used to love the
1v4
Tommy
and
gun.
what was the PMCL against? I think Ghost actually. He had done that. And then my final
Gun
pick, it might
Tensa.
have to be Wavelength HH and I had on all of our games, this sort of back and forth. We didn't even have to say stuff to each other half the time.
Just look
that
at
might
each other,
be,
you know.
That might be the fantasy picks, the comfort picks for me at least, because the other players, yeah, I played with obviously Wildcard and stuff like that, XL, but my old original squad, which is the best.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's my fantasy picks, Dave. If you had your picks,
Are you IGL in this, by the way? Are you IGL in this or what?
Co-IGL.
Co-IGL.
Co-IGL. I'm the first guy running in calling out where everyone's at for Tensor.
Does co-IGL ever truly work, though? Let me ask you that.
I think it did work for our dynamic.
Okay.
We were back in the day. When it was really, you know, a lot of placement points for the hitters for the lobby.
Yeah.
Playing for that sort of stuff was great. But now with the sort of elims stacking and stuff like that, this early aggression all these teams make, all of you got to be able to shoot. And a lot of these guys, especially even now, they'd be able to rinse and repeat me 9 out of 10 times, unfortunately. I'd like to say I could go into this lobby and be like, yeah, you know, Inco Gaming, Coops, yeah, I can win the 1/5 person. No. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore.
Not anymore, man. Hey,
Not anymore. That's why I'm talking here, baby.
That's why hey, man, we need that knowledge. And talking about knowledge, looks like Liquid out here. One of our top teams currently in second place. They are going to be pulling up onto my prediction for game 1, winner, chicken dinner, Zombie Boys. Let's see how the Zombie Boys react to these grenades getting chucked into their compound right now. They're going to be somewhat split up, not all stacked up. Liquid have a nice little spread though. Oh, wow. And out the window right there. Okay.
Questionable.
Questionable without a doubt. Trevor's still alive on the inside though. Guling still with the shotgun, feeling good after that. Little skirmish right there. Now gonna be pushing up the stairs. His opponent very low. Trevor just catching a bullet right there. Immediately taken down. Zombie Boys kind of just fall apart at the seams here. Looking for an answer. One of the Zombie Boys on the outside right here. In a 1v2 situation and just not able to get the job done. Zombie Boys just getting dismantled right there from Liquid.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that vault out. Maybe it was that communication call of he's 1 HP, just pushing shotgun plays. You always got to remember the S12's on the map. I actually believe the DVS is not a drop, so maybe a little bit of overconfidence there from the Zombie Boys. And afterwards, it's just people really getting put in those 2v1 positions. So nice push from the second place squad. I really enjoy seeing that without losing, I believe, any players. But I was around the center of the circle. I was really surprised no one went for the third party potential play there, but I think this circle shift is going to be the call-in before the storm. A lot of these squads are going to really start battling it out over some of these spots on the map because I think they did some VOD review, Dave. I'm seeing a lot of splits from these squads. We see it in the bottom left there, SON, up on the north. A lot of these teams even kind of condensed now, but the zone shift, man, it's brutal for most of these squads.
Yep, nice little zone shift over here. It's going to be spicing things up. We only got about 3 teams in a solid position right here, straight out of Nepal. One of those squads down there in the south with a nice juicy spread. They're going to be looking right here, making sure lock down the southern part of the new circle. Dauntless, same could be said, but they're going to be playing a lot closer together up there in the north in a solid compound. Besides that, everybody, they need to make their move. They need to make their approach here. They want to continue to survive. And well, Rosen thinking just that, you know, he's out here mapping it out, getting in the vehicle, planning with the squad, like where we heading, fellas. We got 2 eliminations. We're all the way outside the play zone here, so it's gonna be very interesting to see what they end up deciding to take on, because remember, a lot of these players, this is a new experience when it comes to competitive play, right? So they don't really know every single nook and cranny where all the angles are. And even if you know some angles, heck, you could build your own now with the holes and trenches and pickaxes. So it really leaves for a lot of rotations.
Yeah, we see it now as well. Zufon, Team Wash looking for some early engagements on the edge of the circle, but just forgetting that the Moneymakers has that sort of off-angle potential. So teams really struggling with understanding these sort of off angles or third-party potentials, and that's what we like out of Rondo, right? You're being able to come up, something new. People don't understand where the threat might be coming from, and you're wondering, Dave, where Inco Gaming was going to rotate. They went all the way north. They're all the way inside now. I believe around 2 or 3 different squads. I believe that's going to be Dauntless and Most Wanted, kind of encompassing them on that far northern side. So a lot of trades going on. We actually see them at all 3 squads getting active.
Yep, it is starting to heat up right here. Looking at Dauntless' position in the zone. Klaus taking some shots at Robs. We saw a couple plays last night from Robs. Probably one of the hottest and most contested battles ever on Rondo. Robs versus Bob. Those two, they just got it out for each other. Heck, you got to keep them separated at all costs, but it does look like Bob is going to be sitting this one out here. Rob's out there. Thankful for him. Has a tree to work with, but Inco also find themselves in the mix.
Yeah, it looks like Inco Gaming, they're actually the team caught in between. So Vitali, only member standing for their squad. Most Wanted now, they're having to work into the circle, but with them having the vehicles and all 3 players, I would think it'd be an easy rotation, but Tensa immediately knocked on the squad. So trying to get the third, and look at that, it's actually going to be another party from Next Gen. So this whole northern side, a lot of squads favoring the rotation, Dave, and they're all losing players one by one.
Losing players one by one, but fortunate for them, this next circle did favor this section of the map. So if you win this battle, you'll have some breathing room to really catch your bearings here. And another thing with Rondo, we got the blue zone jammer backpacks. None of these players have it on right now, but here's a backpack. You have the level 2 slots in there, seam carrying capacity, but it eliminates the blue zone damage for a certain amount of time. So we did see that utilized here last night a couple times. Looking forward to seeing if players do decide to pick it up here.
Cool, man. I was gonna say, yeah, we saw a lot of squads be able to tank blue zone, but a lot of these teams now, they're not even opting to be fighting on the edge. This is gonna be dead center with Dauntless versus Zero Fox Given. Actually looks like they're gonna be sharing kind of the compound, this roadside between each other, and that's probably why we just saw Team Wash driving through, getting absolutely plastered on the drive up, because you're having 8 total, what is that, M4s, all
looking at
just
you,
full spraying you. Yeah, so really interesting. They're able to really kind of succumb to this rotation, but it seems like elsewhere today, there's always going to be action on Rondo.
A lot of action in Hung Shan over there, out there on the West Coast, by the way. We got Liquid straight out of Nepal, all in the mix, and I believe believe, a solo from Burn and Silence, who play spoiler. So pretty much two opposite ends of the coin is where all these squads are going to be stacked up here. Really looking to see what Dauntless can do, though. They got 3 eliminations so far. It does look like they're in a little battle right here with no Fox given. Both these teams are just locked in here. They really don't like each other. They really don't like each other.
I was kind of debating, like, is it really worth for the armor and the helmet damage to come through? We're seeing Next Gen just squeezing in on this eastern edge. Moneymakers as well, just down south. And it's like, hey, we just had knocks on each other and we didn't do anything with it. I'm not sure if going for these shots is the best thing, but the northern side, it looks like it's finally succumbing to an end. Most Wanted trying to clear out Ingbo Gaming, and it's going to be McGrellin actually being the last focal point. Not even going to be around much longer. The nades, Rob's able to come to work with it, but actually it's like, wow, Most Wanted down to a solo from the two-man of
That's all they need, Robs, baby.
Yeah.
That's all they need. Robs and some grenades. Talking about some grenades for you. Chief on forever with the shotgun right there to put a blast. Send that person back to the lobby. Sit down, he said. But yeah, a lot of grenade action happening right here in this late game.
Yeah, it looks like Coops and friends are going to be getting active on this understanding. It might be more than just a duo in the combat. They're going for the full commit. Wancho actually getting the immediate knock on the left. Looking at there, so 1v1 situation with Coops. He's going to be winning that. Actually going to be salty, picking up the last elimination. And they're the only team actually in Hungshan here. It's going to be that solo from BIS. So Coops and friends holding a lot of control actually on this side of the zone.
They're holding it down and looking to hold down that first place spot on the overall leaderboard as well. So they're clocking in, man. They hear and they smell this money on the line. We've been talking about it all last night. We're going to continue to talk about it here tonight. Cash money, baby. $5,000 prize pool. Looks like Wancho does have that blue zone jammer backpack. They'll love to see it. Let's see how they fare up against Robs, who has just been on another one here in game number 1.
Yeah, but it looks like the 4v1 position. I expect Coops and friends to really get active on the solo out here. Make sure that they're not able to really stay behind and get that sort of thorn. Rob trying to make a break for it across the street, but 1 HP. He's also got that new ghillie suit on, so it's not going to help if you're on the roadside. Well, I mean, I don't think it's doing that much in the city.
Couldn't see him. I didn't see anything. Is that Rob's out there? Nah,
just a bush.
Just a bush.
Must have been the wind.
I do like that ghillie suit though. There's some flowers on it. Pretty nice. Rob's has got the whole team just looking at him, trying to pick him out right now, man. Oh, that's gonna open this up actually for another squad, like maybe Most Wanted kind of rotate into the southern half of the play zone. Actually, finally, Rob's taken out right there this morning. Wow, Coops and friends side. All the action unfolding out there. They are just moving on by. Talk about a crash.
Wow,
right there. Oh no.
Yeah, they thought maybe that wall was destructible. It's not, getting stuck right on the outside. Coops and friends really just picking up babies right now. Coops, I mean, they're just standing in front of them right now. They Moneymakers versus Dauntless. They're not even throwing a smoke for their backside. They're just sponging up all these eliminations. And this is the cover. This is him getting active here, Dave. He's trying to make sure he can crust all over this hillside because Fate, he's looking like a free point.
City out here gonna be making their own cover out here as well in the open field. This is exactly how you want to see these concrete barriers be utilized. Oh, backing it up right there. There we go. We're good. There's the dip that we see in the terrain from the grenades here. Cover. Here comes a long grenade right over the head. Just gonna bounce. Gonna dump them out just a little bit. Look at that brand new dip. Who dis?
Hey, but Moneymakers, they got a little plus with that. The nade bounce went just too far to get the finish on the baton, and Dauntless actually knocked one of the S2G players. So really being able to kind of put full force on a Coops and friends. And I'm really interested in seeing what Dauntless chooses to do. The zone shift goes all the way to the west side here, where Juancho and the rest of his squad are able to kind of hold down. But off that knock, I want to see the aggression. And we still can't forget, Dave, we've got the solo spoiler of Burn in Silence off in the city still.
Here goes Baton straight up, rolling in. Currently the MVP in the lobby. Elimination's going to be zooming right past Salty from Coops and Fred. This is when you want the pickaxe. You know what I'm saying? You pull up here in the zone, you blow up your vehicle, you toss some smokes, and you just dig. You just dig down. Yeah. You just dig down. And open Fred. He's going to be taking some shots out there in the distance. As now looks like Dauntless as well. Going to be taking the same pathway that Most Wanted just did moments ago.
Yeah, it looks like as well they actually Fate. So Fate in a position hits the jump shot over the car, but misses Aurora. Now, unfortunately, though, it's really just a 4v4 situation. Make it none. Dauntless really just struggling to get that rotation. And yeah, they got the placement, wiping the likes of Moneymakers, but you can't forget there's still that solo off on the side. It's really going to be a battle for who's able to rat the best in this compound, right? Is it going to be Burn in Silence, or is it going to be Aurora being able to potentially steal that extra placement point?
Let's see. Burn in Silence, the solo. We've been big chilling for a hot minute now, so hopefully you can clutch it out, get the second place, especially with the Blue Zone Jammer backpack. You can heat up some of this Blue Zone here just a little bit compared to your opponents here. Coops and friends. Well, this is looking like a winner chicken dinner for our top team in the lobby here. Once again, it's going to set them up here in a very comfortable position at the top. Coming into this match, they had 2 wins, so this is going to make most likely 3. This is their game to win. They know the solos have to be in this general area. They know behind them, free and clear. That's where they just came from, so... Well, it's going to be like shooting some ducks in the barrel right now here for Coops and friends.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing when Rivals was actually going to get eliminated, but it looks like Coops and friends, they wrapped around to get the solo of Dauntless. And now, Juancho, heard her earlier, is understanding what the situation is looking like. 4v1. Yeah, if he goes down, he gets one elimination. But we're not even going to be looking the right way. Coops and friends, winner, chicken dinner. Game number 1 of Rondo Royale. And kind of expected it, right? We saw that end game. A lot of these squads losing players early on, but still being able to close it out nice and easy, pretty smooth for the most part. That's what we want to see out of some of these veteran players.
Yes, sir. And I believe our first town finish, Hung Shung, right there, finishing right smack in there. All last night it was like in fields, right? Fields, hillsides. Yeah, we got to see those deployable concrete barriers really play a role in those final battles. But that was our first city finish, actually. I like it. So Coops and friends, 13 eliminations, I believe, over 2k damage done. I did see there before we kind of panned out, but my goodness, another win here. That's going to be 3 winner chicken dinners for this one squad. So they won 50% of our games. And now that I think about it, because we've only had 6 games, so they have a 50% win ratio in this Rondo Royale.
And that means they're feeling the map. They're doing something right when they're showing up in these lobbies. We saw it right there at the end. They were able to have full control of the city. A lot of people not favoring the name spot. They all chose to play out in those fields and stuff like that. And yeah, you could do the deployable hard cover, the pickaxes, but I don't think anything's really going to be able to help you in comparison to if you're holding the city like that. And Coops and friends, man, I mean, shout out to them, of course, for being able to really just come in as a dominant force in the lobby. And I'm seeing it not really stacked on just one player, right? We're seeing it mostly as the whole squad putting up the eliminations, the damage numbers themselves. It's not all just on the back of Coops.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Definitely a breath of fresh air. I remember back when Coops was really making a name for himself. It was a Coops show, right? But Coops now finding players that have that synergy, that bounce off of each other, and I know this is like a show match almost, the test
Yeah.
of the waters for esports and how Rondo can play out. But I feel like Coops and friends, they're cooking out here, baby. They are cooking out here, Enigma. So we got 4 more games to go for this Rondo Royale. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Rondo is officially here in PUBG Mobile version 3.7. It has unique scenery and loads of stores. Let's go over them together. To start off, we have the Basic Store, which can be found all over. At the Basic Store, you can purchase supplies and supply blind boxes and sell attachments. Then there's the Garage Store, which only appears by the side of the road. It's like the Basic Store, except you can purchase vehicles from it as well. If you need to get around, you know where to look. Finally, there's the much rarer Premium Store that only appears in Lo Huaxing and Rinjiang. The Premium Store has all the features of the Basic Store and Garage Store, with the added option of purchasing airdrop weapons. Gaining access to the Premium Store, however, is easier said than done. It's surrounded by powerful guards. You must defeat them all to get to the store. So if you want to get your hands on advanced equipment, you'll have to challenge the guards. That's all for this introduction to Rondo stores. I hope they bring you more fun and strategic options.
Try something new, Pico Bus. Battery-powered extraordinary torque. How fast does it take to accelerate from 0 to 100? Give it a try. Intimidate your enemies. Check this out. Power up with a stun gun. Immobilize the enemy and obstruct their vision. One more thing, got blue zone anxiety? No worries, not with this. Come to Rondo and give it a try.
Version 3.7 introduces a brand new map, Rondo. Let's explore it together. It is the largest map in the game by landmass and accommodates up to 100 players at a time. Here, traditional style meets modern aesthetics beneath clear skies and sunsets. Jadina City is a dense urban sprawl of towering skyscrapers and abundant supplies. The city's prosperity flourishes under dazzling neon lights. A bridge crosses the entire city and there are escalators and moving walkways all over to help you get around. All cities are surrounded by suburbs. Floating on water at the southern end of Rondo are Rinjiang's restaurant and luxurious waterfront residences, which offer a great view of the docks. Rondo is also home to many industries. The local NeoX factory is one of them. They manufacture all kinds of vehicles that then make their debut on the test track. Take a break from the modern opulence of the city to visit locations like Tinlong Garden or Yulin and enjoy the beautiful scenery with Eastern-style architecture. Or head to Stadium and Jiaotin to enjoy some theater and a sports event. Rondo has lots to offer no matter where you go. In addition to these diverse landscapes, Rondo also has mechanics that make it unique. When you enter Rondo, you may be randomly assigned to one of 2 planes with the rest of your team. Spreading players out like this increases the overall utilization of the map. Shops in Rondo are also unlike any other. There are basic stores and premium stores. Basic stores are common and can carry supplies, vehicles, or supply blind boxes. Its currency can be obtained by selling firearm attachments or gold bars. Gold bars are obtained from safes located throughout the map. Premium stores only appear in Rinjiang and Lohua Shine. They carry airdrop supplies, so if you're skilled enough, definitely go for them. Beware that they're patrolled by powerful guards that you must defeat before approaching. The JS9 will drop from regular guards, and the MG3 airdrop weapon will drop from commanders. You can also loot their helmets and armor to dress up as them and impress other players. The presence of these guards makes it very risky to land near premium stores at the start of a match. You'll likely be defeated because you won't have any gear, so tread carefully. Rondo also has a unique terrain destruction mechanic. Here, terrain can be destroyed with pickaxes, grenades, or vehicle explosions. When you're fighting in an area with minimal cover, you can use your surrounding terrain to create cover. The maximum destruction depth is 1.3 meters. Note that only the ground can be destroyed. Buildings, water, and cement are indestructible. While terraforming, all destructible objects within range will also be destroyed. There is a special area in Rondo called the EMP zone. Neither you nor your surroundings will take any physical damage here, but electronic reticles on scopes and sights get deactivated, and vehicles with engines will cease operating. Stores, recall towers, and the signal jammer backpack will also stop working. When the EMP zone appears, there will be a notification on the screen. It will close and stop spawning after the third time the blue zone closes in and will not appear again. Rondo has some interesting scenery objects as well. You can use escalators and moving walkways to get around faster, but if you travel against its direction, your speed will be reduced. There are birds in cages around the map that will call out when they sense movement. Destroy the cages to set the birds free. Destructible bamboo can be found all over Rondo, which can be damaged by throwables and vehicles, adding another layer of complexity to battles. Naturally, Rondo also has new weapons and items. The JS9 is a new type of single-shot submachine gun with a full auto mode. It boasts a fast rate of fire with excellent damage output and stable recoil. It is compatible with all SMG muzzles and magazines and is extremely accessible, making it suitable for all players. Stun gun. Any target hit will be temporarily blinded and immobilized, unable to retaliate. It takes up the pistol slot, so you can bring it along without sacrificing a main weapon slot. You could also travel with your teammates and use the stun gun to immobilize enemies for your teammates to take out, maximizing the weapon's full potential. The pickaxe is a new melee weapon available in Rondo, and it's quite versatile. You can use it to destroy terrain for more flexibility in battle. With it, the battleground belongs to you. The emergency cover flare is a new throwable. A few seconds after using it, 2 large, triangular cover objects will fall from the sky. The objects can't be destroyed, making them ideal protection against gunfire. However, note that they can deal heavy damage to any player or vehicle when they land, so don't get hit. You also can't use this item indoors. The Signal Jammer backpack has the capacity of a level 2 backpack, but it is also capable of withstanding 100 blue zone damage. When its durability is depleted, you will start taking blue zone damage as if it were a regular level 2 backpack. This feature makes it great for exploring outside the play zone in the early game and facing off in the final play zone. In addition to these items, there's the new Battle Ready Kit. This advanced consumable will restore all your health and energy so you're fit to dive straight back into battle. You'll find the new Forest Ghillie suit available as an airdrop. Equip it to become one with Rondo's greenery and sneak up on your enemies. In addition to all of this, Rondo introduces 2 new vehicles to the fray. The Pico Bus is a new 6-seater vehicle that runs on battery. It boasts impressive acceleration and is extremely quiet. It gets moving quickly, which consumes a lot of battery. But don't worry, the Pico Bus has an energy recovery trait that allows it to recover and store energy when braking or decelerating, which extends its endurance. The Blanc is a new SUV that seats 4 players and has a storage compartment that can carry loads of emergency supplies. Rondo has tons more content for you to discover, so head to PUBG Mobile and check it out now!
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to day number 2 of the official Rondo Royale. Dave, we saw that last match, right? Coops and friends coming in, starting off strong, and like you said it right there at the end, they've won 50% of the matches going on so far in this event.
Yeah, they don't want other people to have a shot at this money here. So 50% win rate is actually insane to think about. Yeah, we still got 4 more games to go. Let's see if Coops and friends can continue to maintain that stat line. But we were kind of talking like Coops and friends. I feel like this squad, they got something cooking here, Enigma. Like you can tell they got this energy going. They got the gun skills. We know that. So I don't know. Could this be like, is this a team actually that we could see in the future as like a unit?
Maybe. It all depends, if Coops is going to play in this region or if he has maybe offers in other regions. It's always that toss-up, right? We never know what these players are really thinking. Let's bring in that match results real quick as well for us to kind of do the breakdown. I know we didn't show it before, but for Coops and friends, man, 23 total points. But 2 other names, Dave, reaching the double-digit mark.
There we go. Burn in silence, Dauntless, and then the money makers out here getting 8 eliminations. So Dauntless, yeah, they had such a strong position for a good part of the game, actually, that because of that, they were able to get a nice amount of eliminations. Eliminations, they're going to go a long way, especially in these short form, 2-day tournaments. It's all about the eliminations, in my opinion. Of course, winner chicken dinners, but elims is where it's at.
Yeah, and everything is just where it's at. I believe as well, we're seeing it just now. We're actually going to be going right into the plane here, Dave. These squads are making it real quick and easy for us today. It seems like match number 2 is underway, and unfortunately, we only have the one plane path this game. I was hoping it was going to be the double-decker here for match number 2 of Rondo today. But now, Dave, it's looking pretty solid for some of these squads. I really enjoyed what I've already seen from the first match, and obviously what we saw all day yesterday.
Yeah, Rondo's been a really enjoyable map, honestly, to sit back, watch, talk about, and see these strategies, because it's a lot different from like being in game, just queuing up, running around. Personally, me, I'm just like rolling through the bamboo gardens and having a good time. But it's a lot, it's a different experience, right? To be able to kind of get a eagle eyes view and really see the players and kind of the crafty plays that they come up with, honestly, from our perspective. So I mean, we're talking esports. What do you think, Rondo? I mean, does it fit within esports? Is it too early? I mean, you're an ex-pro. You got what, over 1,000 hours? So I mean, where do you see Rondo landing here in the competitive scene?
I think, we were talking about it. It's a beta map still, so PUBG themselves obviously have an idea of what tweaks they want to make to the map, but I've loved every bit of it for the most part. Maybe some more sort of cover, like with the rice fields or the bamboo sort of forest. A lot of that more maybe around the map would make it very much dynamic from what we've already seen on Rondo, but the POIs, all that stuff, the hill terrain, it's always going to be something new for these squads to learn, and for them to really be able to maybe have potentially a month or 2 to learn this map, I think that's more than enough time for us to be able to really see this map come into full force, I guess you could say, in the competitive space. So these players, hopefully they all enjoy it as much as me. I've loved every second of it, especially with us watching it now with the full lobby of sweat squads kind of coming in here, playing and making sure that every nook and cranny is really, for the most part. And by the way, guys, if you're experiencing anything in the game, make sure to report it. PUBG Mobile's always on top of getting this sort of stuff worked out for us. They do all those reports every single month they send out, right, Dave? So I expect nonetheless Rondo to have that same experience for everyone to be able to enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah, I mean, the reports, they do land on my desk, and a lot of times I'm just like, suck it up, deal with it. But yeah, sometimes I get to it, when I feel like it. So all jokes aside, though, yeah, Rondo still in beta, but having one heck of a time. Looks like Zero Fox Given going to be clashing horns here early on with Next Gen. We saw them last night, some glimmers of hope. Quan Deadshot with a little lean peek action, M4 iron sight right there. Zero Fox Given, this is the squad. They have been ramping up the aggression here, especially early on. When we look to games 5 last night, when we look to last match, we saw them with the early game drive-by, pretty much dismantling Burn in Silence really early on. Now it looks like they're looking to get into a skirmish with Next Gen.
Yeah, I'm really on the side of Zero Fox Given for this engagement. I believe yesterday they actually took a 4v4 at this exact POI. So really expecting the same result from this team. If you won it once before, you can win it again. And by the way, guys, we haven't been able to see it, but this is going to be dead center of circle number 1. So if I was either of these squads, I would enjoy if this fight happens sooner versus later for you to really be able to set up and hold the POI without someone else maybe coming in for the third party. But we're seeing a lot of it. 3 players of Zero Fox Given underneath at the first floor of the warehouse while most of Next Gen is up on the roof. And I think it's really going to come down to how these off angle plays happen, Dave. It's really going to be on the likes of Sigma or that off player for Next Gen to be able to get potentially that opening knock for the team, right? But with everything coming out, the utility, the weapon usage, it's all going to be very limited with this hot drop.
Yeah, but great point though. You bring up like these 2 teams, dead center, in the Neox factory, where they create the Pico bus. Nobody near them, so they have a lot of room to really make a play happen. They probably have a good idea that nobody's going to be near them because of the parachutes when they all dropped here and decided to take this hot drop and clash early on. So they really have the time to really try to pinpoint and make this fight happen, essentially, without worrying about somebody crashing them this early on. But then again, you don't want to get stuck here, like you said. You want to get the fight done and then go loop. Oh no! As I say that, nobody's near us, but the EMP zone is like, forget you. It was just there a second ago, creating some pressure. Oh man, EMP zone. What a troll right there. We used to talk about Papa Blue. Now we got what? Papa EMP.
Papa EMP.
Even worse than Papa
Brother
Blue.
EMP. I'm not sure if we could really put it as the Papa mark with it not doing damage and stuff like that. Maybe if we see it stop people on rotation, we could call it Papa EMP. But I gotta give it the brother mark here, Dave. It's not the dad figure just yet. But now we're seeing it.
Uncle EMP.
Zone's out. Okay. I'm liking that one. That's got a nice ring to it.
The Unk.
The Unk status.
So it looks like I do like their position on the rooftop right there. Honestly, a lot of sight lines. Looks like Zero is gonna be running across the way, trying to reposition. Oh, Tech 24 though with the AKM in the EMP zone, just getting blasted in the face. Was able to spot out that member running across the road. It's going to be turning the tides essentially here. Zero Fox Given with the numbers advantage now.
Yeah, unfortunately, the EMP zone is back for these players
back,
to really
baby.
not be able to use their red dots or anything like that. The reticle actually does go away if none of you have really experienced it just yet. So a little bit of a trip. Luckily, Sigma, they only have the M7 iron sights, which is probably one of the worst iron sights in the game, but it's better than no reticle on the red dot. So Zero Fox Given, luckily for them, they were able to knock the off angle player and able to monitor if anyone is able to leave this warehouse. So should be coming to that sort of 3v4 position. It actually looks like they were able to thirst one of the Next Gen players there. So really now it's a matter of Zero Fox Given being able to push these last 3 remaining players right up onto the roof and hopefully get a clean squad wipe to start their game off.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Tech 24 got that Uzi.
Oh man, you and the Uzis, Dave. Come on.
Uzi. The Uzi, to me, is the best sounding weapon in all of PUBG Mobile. Oh no, Tech 24 though. We're gonna be spotted though. My dude doesn't know. He doesn't know. Six scope is right there. Hello. Got him. Tech 24 is like, they're up here. There's one right here. Come stay.
Right here, right
Don't let us thirst me. And
with the
he got
Uzi
thirsted.
too. And the EMP zone is back.
Whatever you do, don't let him get the Uzi. Yeah. The EMP zone really doesn't like people camping early game dead center here. I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting from this year. And like you mentioned, it does impact the actual play style just a little bit with taking away the sights. Especially if you're gonna be shooting down range here, might be a little more difficult, just a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zero Fox not set up to really kind of take this engagement the way they wanted to. And next gen, they're actually holding a little bit of an off angle spot on this one stairwell. Sigma not able to have really a good angle to potentially support the squad. So this 3v3 engagement really on the shoulders of if Pepsi can catch one without getting traded on the stairs here. Because if you go down there, your teammate's going to have a hard time going up and around you. Your body's going to be blocking yourself. You might actually even potentially get thirsted depending which engagement you go for. So really interested in seeing how next gen chooses to play this with Pepsi. He opens up with one, having the second player guess, go for the full-on aggression. He's able to get the S12, but now, Dave, this is what I was worried about. The 1v1 scenario, 6x, he's the one close to his teammates, while Zero Fox Given, she's got to run up close and personal.
Just getting this pickup here in the wide open. And look at this, out there in the distance, X-Force now actually showing up. So yeah, both these teams, they had a lot of time to work with here. Nobody was near them, but that was 2 minutes ago. You know, this is prime center position in this circle. X-Force, they're gonna be rolling up here. Both Zero Fox Given and Next Gen, they're gonna be weak. They're gonna be looking for meds. They're not gonna have the most optimal loot and ammunition. So X-Force, they got the grenades. They got Zero Fox Given back against the wall. 3-point with the shotgun, fire through the doorway. A little lead peek action right there. Zero Fox Given putting up a good fight.
That's all about the damage. Can you get the one opening? X-Force, there are back elims, but unfortunately, Sulo gonna be the first one knocked and immediately thirsted. Zero Fox Given crumbling at the pressure of this third party, and now I believe it's just a solo up for DFG. Pepsi, if you wanted one player, it would be this member of the squad up close and personal, but the nades are coming through. The damage is starting to tick down, and you still got to worry about that roof presence, right? Next gen craning over the top, but inside the free fires come in. Does get one. Take it. There we go. One and 3 point.
The shotgun, only 9 bullets right there to seal the deal. And well, 3 points with the shotgun to the dome. That'll do it. Now, Pepsi, shout out to Pepsi once again. We saw Pepsi last night with a couple plays similar to that, really clutching it out. Pepsi definitely doing a number on X-Force. Now here comes Next Gen to just play cleanup.
Yeah, they've got the nade. I'm really interested if Quan's able to get it right on the spot there. It looks like they're actually going to full pressure into this, but looks like Guess actually got a little bit low there. This nade's really got to find maybe more than one player. The bank off of it, and he actually finds one. No, he doesn't. That's going to be 3-point getting the nade off. Next Gen really kind of struggling to clean this up. The 2v3 scenario at one point, now making it a 2v4. X-Force salvaging the position in this little electrical house. Now having to just clean up the rest of Next Gen.
When in doubt, grenade it out, as my great-grandpappy always used to say. And well, X-Force doing just that. I thought X-Force, they were dead to rights right there. I mean, Next Gen, they were locked up, they were loaded, and they were ready to go. But wow, the tides have turned here, and well, X-Force gonna be running away with their tails between their legs. At least the solo, or Next Gen that is, at least the solo Quan Deadshot, the last remaining member alive. So X-Force showing up here, game number 2 with 8 eliminations. You love to see it, especially for a squad who is playing catch up here on day number 2. They didn't really have the hottest of day number 1s here on the Rondo Royale $5,000 cash prize, but day 2, you can tell it's the squad. They went back, they did the VOD review, and they came into tonight with the game plan, Enigma.
Yeah, it looks like as well they were able to get that back-to-back off-drop wipe onto, I believe, the Extreme Slayer squad. So them being able to come into that third party already with eliminations under their belt, every single one afterwards is just really gonna boost them up that leaderboard. And with that being said, you said it's only match 2 today. We're talking 5 total, which means we got 3 matches after this one. So X-Force really kind of turning the burners on and making sure that they're trying to get up more into that higher money range that we saw early at the start of the day. But for these other teams, they moved in as well, close by test track, actually right outside of the Neox factory. So the center spot's already taken. And I think if we're looking at Quan, dead shot there, he's got to do almost that impersonation of Burn and Silence last match. Make sure you get those placement points. Try to get up there in that top 3 range, because the eliminations didn't really go their way. It all was sponged up by X-Force there. So really just struggling in the second match to kind of secure themselves points like X-Force is doing.
All you can do. That's all you can do. Well, with Coops and friends at the top, they got what, 92 points, almost 100.
Something.
Dauntless, yeah, something. Dauntless right behind them. Liquid in third. Like, Dauntless, Liquid, most wanted. They definitely still have a lot more games to really catch up to Coops and friends. But Coops and friends, they've just been putting on a show here in the Rondo Royale. So it's really up to like Dauntless, Liquid, and how they could answer back. What can they do to really close that gap? And it does look like Liquid, they're going to be hugging the west side of this circle, just playing this one nice and slow, trying to keep their vehicles alive, trying to keep, hey, stun gun. Hey, we got the stun gun.
There we go.
Totally getting me off topic, sidetracked right there. That's all it takes. But what was I saying? They're TLDR, they're playing it nice and slow. That way they can show up to late game with the whole squad alive, like you like to see, and hopefully get the winner wearing chicken dinner.
Yeah, I'd really just enjoy if those top 4 squads outside of Coops and Friends were able to get the wins. But the scary thing is, if Coops and Friends doesn't win that match they're playing, and they almost always have quite a few eliminations secured. So I'd honestly like to see maybe even some early aggression, some focus onto that team. I know it's very hard. It's a daunting task to say for you to really go out and fight the first place squad after they've won 50% of the matches, but for these teams right now, I mean, obviously there's a lot of money on the line. Everyone gets paid out. If you're not aiming for that first, you got to at least be looking for that second and third place. But we're still only talking 2 out of 5 matches. You still should be gunning for that first place spot, because that few $1,000s on the line, that would be prettier than anything else underneath first place.
Oh, we love money. So $5,000 for the Rondo Royale. 2 days, 5 games per day. It's a weekend thing, and well, it's been a fun thing. So X-Force, they're going to be holding down the east side of Test Track. They're going to be pretty happy with the amount of eliminations they have so far. Looks like most wanted, they're going to be finding themselves a compound up there in the north. And then, of course, we got the solo Quan Deadshot, just big chilling. Yeah. I mean, they tried, they tried the hot drop. They tried to get into the action here, and well, didn't work out. So now we are going to look for some eliminations here. Not eliminations, rank points. There it is. There's the word, rank points here. And we saw last game, Burn Silence. They had a solo who was able to survive until second place. So it is definitely doable for Quan Deadshot.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, though, I think that really came down to if it's these sort of city finishes. Obviously, luckily for Quan, he's in the named POI. It's just a matter of if the zone ends there or not. If you're next to, I believe that's going to be Coops and Friends. If you're next to X-Force and the likes of them, all these squads are 4 players up, all feeling the aggression for these teams. And a lot of these squads, I think our focus is really going to be turned to either this far northern side here, Dave, or the far south, that edge spot of the circles, because these squads right now, they're trying to play it slow. They're trying to find themselves a little bit of that white inside the circle shift. And unfortunately, for other teams that have that same mindset like Dauntless and SLN here, you're going to start clashing horns.
We got Spence with the bike, though.
The bike?
The bike.
Not the horse, though.
Not the horse. We got the bike. We haven't really seen any horse action here on Rondo. We saw 1 horse last night, game 5, but
yeah,
nobody really strapping on the boots and the hat to ride around here on the pony. Wolf, trying to Paul on the rooftop. Did see Klaus kind of driving on by. Dauntless looking to really see how they want to attack this one. Looks like all of Shroud and Paul, they're going to be focusing hard on Klaus, who Blue is taking a little bit of blue zone damage. Did have a nice grenade, actually. I saw some damage numbers getting chunked over there, but Dauntless, they're looking, yeah, they're looking to take out straight out of Nepal. And, well, Klaus looking to get the initial knock with the grenade here. Wolf already down. There goes some vehicles getting blown to bits. Dauntless using the utility to really open this one up. You love to see it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. Ouch. Ouch. And thirsted. Ouch.
Yeah, that's not what you're wanting to see. Fortunately enough for SON, they were able to get Wolf up, and the jammer pack for Spence keeping him at full HP. So Dauntless, I thought they kind of had this in the bag. All it took really was one good follow-up nade, maybe a better rotation out of the squad. But now SON, they're the ones getting active. They're the ones with the 4-player advantage. But they got to be careful, Dave. The third-party central seems to be the name of the game. Burning Silence pulling right up on this eastern edge.
Burning Silence hot off of a second place finish with their solo. Gonna be pulling up here in the fields right behind Dauntless. Looking at a third party, like you mentioned, backstabbing Dauntless in the fields here. Straight out of Paul, really catching a whiff of luck here, actually, as now they're gonna be able to kind of get a heal up. They're most likely gonna lose their member out there in the blue. Unfortunate, but they're gonna have some time to really get away of the land here. They still have the hard cover to work with as well.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Burning Silence opts to really kind of take over this whole southern ridge line right around where Rival's at, essentially, or if they're going to maybe rotate into the circle shift, because we're talking stage 4 right now. It's going to start doing a good bit of tick damage, not enough to really make you stress, but just enough for you to stress about making your rotation in. And now we see at SON, they're feeling the pressure. First squad to move on to Dauntless, taking the engagement, and I believe we're going 1 for 1, blow for blow with each other. And Burning Silence, they're not wanting any part of it, Dave. They're saying, hey, we'll pick you guys off later on.
Yeah, playing the zone here. I like that heads up play right there from Burning Silence, because they know if we reposition into the circle, they're gonna eventually come to us, at least the survivors of that skirmish. XP3, one of those survivors, trying to just do just that. Survive a little longer, driving past multiple teams. To be driving past the test track, might finally find a safe position to get the heal right in the nick of time here. Burning Silence, though, they're still going to be up there in the north. So remember, straight out of Nepal, licking their wounds, going to be rotating through that area. Looks like XP3, a little revenge here. Actually get a new angle, going to be proning kind of third party that skirmish down range.
Good damage going off. We actually see some deployable cover coming down, I believe, from the BIS squad. Really having to deal with 2 squads now on that northern side, focusing you. And if you're Dauntless, I honestly appreciate them going for these shots. You got to look for the elims, but through the smoke, I mean, can't blame them for that one, right? How are you ever going to expect getting shot out of your car just in that 1 second of moving it? But now we go back to the action here, Dave. The north side really just crumbling over the pressure of these boulders.
Big Blaze trying to get the pickup on a Wolf. Meanwhile, Frankie in the front line looking to connect these grenades here. Looks like one of them was successful. Blaze now pulling up behind this boulder, trying to get the high angle, trying to take out the solo from Burn in Silence.
That was the most wanted player hitting that shot.
Stealing it?
K9. Yeah, stolen it out of the vehicle. So crazy shot for that one, but these players right now, I mean, most wanted, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they've been sitting pretty there all game up centered. And now we see the circle shift. It actually goes away from the test track, Dave. A lot of those squads down south, they've been holding hands in the compound, and now
holding hands,
forcing their, they've been holding hands. They've been
hands,
making their own little
kumbaya.
Yeah, they're doing it all.
Eating s'mores.
Hey, I want some. Now you're making me hungry.
I want some s'mores too, actually. Maybe after this. Maybe after this. Straight out of Paul. Gonna be pushing up right here on the edge of this wooden shack and concrete barriers, providing some nice cover. But I don't think this is in the zone. Yeah, they're right there and trying to get this vehicle unstuck. Actually, straight out of Paul. Gonna be pushing up on a Coops and friends here. Wolf has the deployable barriers, going to be looking to toss that one, but Trey and Paul, they are all over the place, honestly. I mean, Frankie's still down here in this bowl, trying to avoid the sight lines for most wanted. Does have a vehicle to work with, but they're pulling up. The duo, they're pulling up on Coops and Friends, the top team in the lobby.
Yeah, Coops and Friends, they got to be really careful about how they play. So it's actually going to be 2 of them holding this outside, while the other 2, Salty and I believe Juancho, holding off straight out on the ball. So this team, the dominant force, they've got 0 elims, but they're really getting kill hungry right now for those elimination points. And I'd honestly be worried how you set yourself up, but they're finding them now. Everyone's opting for the field play here, Dave. And if you're the squad on the edge, you have all the hard stuff yourself.
Jeez.
You're able to take some free shots on these players. Wow, just beaming up from across the map.
Laser precision right there on multiple players. Finally, Frankie's taking them down and out. I mean, this was just a laser beam from Coops and Friends. They should be able to get a pickup, maybe, if they're going to send one of their players out here. It's going to be a risky play, actually. We see Salty making the approach. Juancho still holding down that angle over there on the edge with straight on to Paul. This actually might be a very difficult revive.
Yeah,
You have the smoke, but this is, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it looks like Coops and Friends really just spreading themselves thin, and this is what I was worried
There's
about.
Juancho.
SON, as soon as they recognize it, they pull over the ridgeline. They could be wiping out the first place squad right now. Juancho, he's got to get some big shots on Wolf with the S12, an immediate thirst. SON not recognizing that Coops and Friends had the solo here still, and one of those players he can put work into, man. The headshot damage really struggling. No jammer backpack either, so he's not able to stall it out on the edge of the blue circle. He's got to make himself in, and all these teams, Dave, they left the test track. They're all having to fight for that one bowl spot in the center of the circle now.
Yeah, shout out to Watcher right there too, really buying some time to get the best angle on that opponent, right, with that shotgun and then the instant thirst, because you know, he could have popped up right away and took some shots and might have missed 1 or 2, but he made sure that his opponent just wasn't ready for it, essentially. So the timing right there, very impressive. The duo from Coops and Friends are going to be out here on the edge. They built a little car fort, actually, really leaning low here to avoid any type of sight lines. Right over this ridge, you got Most Wanted with a trio, and straight on Nepal. We're down to just 3 teams. Blaze City out here, the jammer backpack healing up.
Ooh.
Frankie's running. We're running, but we're getting shot. We're getting shot from the duo from Coops and Friends, but we found a boulder.
Yeah, there are many boulders, but this one is mine. And unfortunately, Most Wanted, they actually didn't recognize the SON player made it in. And I'm honestly getting a little bit worried for Most Wanted. They have the 3-man. Yeah, they've got 9 elims. Really got to clear out the solo. Luckily, Robs, he clears them out. Now making this a 3v2 spot, but the circle shift comes through, Dave. I'm wondering where the deployable covers are at, where the vehicles are really going to stop on this hillside, because I think everything's flat in this circle. There's not really any position for these players to be able to kind of hold until that final circle shift.
And then there was 2. Coops and Friends with the duo. Most Wanted with the trio. Most Wanted sitting on 10 eliminations. Coops and Friends sitting on 4 right now. Rob still alive with 4 of the eliminations from Most Wanted. Gonna be pushing up here with the vehicle. Yep, definitely spotting him. Gonna be relaying the information back to the squad. Rob's with his trusty grenade. Rob's has been hitting these nades all tournament long. That one's gonna be missing the mark. Here comes the flashbang. Rob's is ready to go.
He's going backwards. I mean, that damage was kind of crazy he just received, but unfortunately, actually, it's going to be Coops and Friends first opening knock. The nade utility's got to come through. Looks like SnowX finds the one on the Salty, making this a 1v2 spot. Can Juancho clutch it up with the S12? Shots come through, and it's not going to be enough. Winner, chicken dinner. Most Wanted, Dave. The team that was in the top 5 that we wanted to see put up some numbers, looks like they did just that in game number 2.
Much needed win right there from a team looking to close the gap with Coops and Friends. Coops and Friends, though, still showing up right in the late game. Second place, 5 eliminations, so they're still going to be racking up these points over here, just gobbling them at this point. But GG's to Most Wanted, one of the teams that we were talking about in the pre-show. Really consistent team here on Rondo. They've been showing up and right there getting the win, plus the 10 eliminations. No, 12 eliminations. Yeah, the last two right there. So going back to the MVP race, hey, Rob's up there.
Really?
I'm guessing.
Yes.
We've been seeing some plays from Rob's here tonight. Yesterday, Rob's was kind of eating it up, but tonight, Rob's truly showing up here, Enigma.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, we want to see obviously who's kind of in that running for the MVP stuff. We saw Baton was that first place spot. He's been pretty quiet in these first two matches, so I'm really interested in seeing which of these squads in that top 5 bracket are able to kind of step it up like Most Wanted did in this last match. And talking about the last match, let's actually bring in those match results for us to really kind of understand what unfolded there at the end, because we were watching Coops and Friends, we were watching Most Wanted, Shred and Nepal, they were all battling it out, but I'm not sure what those sort of points breakdowns really looked like. These teams, they're battling it out. Obviously, Most Wanted, you said it, 12 elims with the 10 gives them 22, but these other teams, I'm seeing a lot of kind of new faces up here. They secured themselves a few amount of points.
222. By the way, this music is a vibe. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Extreme Slayers, though. Ooh, talking about the vibe. The Gauntlet winners from what, last week, right, Enigma? I know you and Red Eyes were holding that one down. Extreme Slayers, where are we at? I gotta see something here. Zombie Boys, Money Makers, same. I know.
Yeah.
Only game 2, but still, I mean, we're gonna say what? Only game 3, and then only game 4. Like, we're getting towards the end here, where you really can't have these goose eggs no more here, Enigma.
Yeah, it's all about what kind of points you're able to put up, and unfortunately, we've already played one day, those 5 total matches yesterday, but it's not just that for the event we're talking today. 3 more games to go. It's all about what these guys are really able to kind of step up and do. And for the most part, I know you and I were happy to see these events and stuff like that. Hopefully we're able to see more of it. But for you guys watching at home, we're going to go into a quick break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Game number 3 of Rondo coming your way. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to day number 2 of the Rondo Royale. 2 matches already completed here, Dave. And for the most part, you and I, we're looking at 3 total matches remaining to see who is able to walk away with all that cash we showed at the start of the day. In my eyes, they're set on Coops and Friends, but I'm really liking what I saw out of Most Wanted that last match.
Yeah, there is, Coops and Friends definitely at the top, right? Without a doubt, they've been just dominating this tournament. But there is a point where maybe your team can get a little too confident. You start going for these plays that you just get wiped out, right? And then next thing you know, then you're tilting, and then you're on what you like to call the dirt ball. You're going downhill. So there's definitely a lot of aspects, right? So really looking through that lens to see what team could take advantage of something like that if it was to occur, right? Because there's still a couple teams in the running for that first place prize pool of $2,000. At the end of the day, though, everybody participating will be walking away with some type of money, but first place is where it's at. First place is what you want.
Everything's all about that cash prize, the podium of gold. No one cares about silver or bronze unless you're really aiming for that in that final match. But I'm hearing in our ears, Dave, the plane, it's coming around. The third match of tonight's Rondo Royale. Rondo is coming to us right now. And for the most part, I'm hoping that this match is just as exciting as the last 7 you and I have been able to see here the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's been a pretty unique tournament, to say the least, here. Just seeing all the new additions and mechanics that Rondo does bring to a game like PUBG Mobile. So Rondo Royale, shout out to the team behind the scenes, by the way, all the moving parts, putting on the production, getting the players ready, signed up. Shout out to everybody involved. And honestly, it's been a pretty fun weekend here. So make sure you hit that like button on the live stream and go and follow the socials, the official ones, PUBG Mobile Esports NA on both TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of them. And let us know, what are your thoughts on Rondo? Do you have a team that could be one of the best for Rondo? Let us know.
Yeah, you're on it. You're murdering some of these players, like when Sanity or Dabs plays. They've been on this map 24/7, which, by the way, we've got the follow-up with that. I believe they're actually playing together now, Dave. They're not doing against each other. I think they've teamed up now, but unfortunately, the teaming up is not happening here. Extreme Slayer's off drop fighting Liquid Vincier. Looks like one player going down already. Freyday, I was worried he was going to have to use that pistol, Dave, but picks up the UMP to his name. Now making it 1v1. He's full aggressing, hits him with the pre-fire. Freyday clutching up the 1v1 for the squad, but got to worry about the rest of Liquid Vincier.
Yeah, this is Liquid as well, one of the top teams in the lobby, trying to hunt down Coops and Friends when it comes to chomping at their point lead, right? So Liquid, if they were to lose the player here, maybe get thirsted, well, that's going to set them back. Now, on the flip end, if they were to get a whole squad wipe, well, that's best case scenario, right? That's going to set them up for success here as team number 3. Whoa, come on, can we hit that? Oh, geez, so low. Finally able to get the shot right there. Oh, yeah. Pick up Brady on the outskirts here. UMP, 14 bullets left. Not a lot to work with. Not a lot at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just too many players now. Liquid Vincier, they were able to get the whole squad kind of encompassing the Extreme Slayers push. And now we see it for 80. I mean, he's got that pistol to work with. I think he's actually going to be forced to use it here. So really kind of a tragic story for the Extreme Slayers squad. And actually looks like one of the players for Liquid Vincier is able to crawl all the way from the building. So not even a thirst going to Extreme Slayers' way. That one elimination point is now none. So fortunately, the Jammer pack isn't going to be doing too much. It's all about getting that HP up and really, hopefully, finding a bit more ammo for this fight.
HP up, ammo, utility, just any type of advantage. Win this skirmish here, right there on the edge. And Yulin here, beautiful spot. By the way, love the buildings, the architecture. It's remarkable, but only enough room for one squad here early game. Meanwhile, in the elimination feed, Chiffon Forever is just destroying my zombie boys. That's a feels bad.
Ooh.
That's a feels bad.
I'm seeing some trades back and forth.
Feels bad. It's a tear from my eye.
It's not a demolition yet, Dave. You gotta
it's
have
a demolition, man. It's a demolition. All right, this is match number 3 out of 5. But let's see, Extreme Slayers. That's the team, the Gauntlet winners. The event that you and Red Eyes had the opportunity to be a part of and watch them dominate. Really can't say that here. So I know you're familiar with this squad.
Yeah. I mean, I
See what
believe
they can
it's going to
do.
be, I believe Rushy is actually not on the Extreme Slayer squad here. He's playing on Liquid Vincier, which is pretty reluctant, playing under a different username for this event. Not sure why, but a little maybe a bit of bad blood in the water scene that going against a squad that really was maybe the reason why you're not playing with them anymore now, fighting them off drop. And I was a little concerned, people wanting to fight Liquid Vincier. I believe it was Zombie Boys fighting them last time we saw in match 1 or 2. So really kind of already used to fighting off drop. But now Extreme Slayers, they came in unprepared, now leaving it up to just Ayuya in the upstairs of this building. The angle is not actually finding it. Ooh, reigning supreme, but he's got to worry about the rest, Dave. The shots, they're coming out.
Uzi versus Uzi, the ultimate showdown for Yulin over here on Rondo. Match 3 of 5. Hayuya on the upper level. Looks like Freddy on the outskirts was able to find some more ammunition to help out the boy inside the building. Uling, ton of ammo. Ton of ammo. No grenades. No utility. Out the window, getting a nice spray down right there. Holy cow! Out the tie. Extreme Slayer. This engagement, Uzi versus Uzi, swapping to the UMP on the second story. King Ling is running around scared now.
Yeah, that scare thing just looks brutal to try to get up, and he actually made it up, but had to go down because he was out of ammo in his Uzi. Now, of course, 1v1 grenade comes through, but not finding the mark. Freddy does try to help Ayuya, not in this position to really support Freddy now in I believe a 1v2 situation
1v2.
up here, but he's got to find the knocks. We see the horse there, but I don't think that's coming into play just yet, Dave. It's all about if they're able to get utility usage in this nade. It might do wonders for Ayuya here.
Might, but you really got to hit the mark, and now it looks like Liquid going to be opting to come up with a new game plan, not looking to push these stairs. They know Hayuya's got the UMP, he's got the Uzi. Well, here they come, looking for the ricochet off the windowsill. That could be money. A little bit of damage. Hello, Hayuya popping through the window and immediately taken down and out. Guess what? We got a horse.
Horse.
That's
what I wanted.
That's
the
what
horse
we wanted.
and the stun gun. Getting
The
you.
horse
We
and
got
dream.
1 out of 2 today.
What a
Thankfully,
fight, though.
Yeah.
What a fight.
I was thinking Liquid Vincier was getting a little bit too sketchy there. That knock on the outside after Ayuya was down to just himself in the building really was about to spell disaster. But thankfully for them, they're able to pressure Ayuya onto the outside of the window, not able to camp the stairs because that angle, man, I mean, it's not like the 2-story buildings we usually see, right? It's not that right angle. You got that wall cover to really kind of piece yourself up. You got the whole upper balcony looking down on you. So nice stuff from them, really baiting it out, and fortunately being able to kind of secure themselves, even though it could have been all 4 players, at least having 3 players remaining to their name.
Yeah, it's better than having none. I definitely agree with that one. And well, Extreme Slayer is definitely putting up really strong fights right there. You love to see it, especially early game. So Most Wanted showing up off of their winner chicken dinner. Robs has been an impressive player here. I know the whole squad, they have some pedigree, you know, experience or whatnot, but Robs has just been showing up here for the squad of Most Wanted. If there was a team that could catch up to Hoops and Friends, in your opinion, who is that team?
Gotta be Most Wanted. Off that win, now we're seeing that first initial elimination on the Dauntless of all teams, which, by the way, they're in an engagement now with Inco Gaming, which all 3 of these names I just said could potentially get into that top 1 placement ranking, but we're only seeing 1 squad really show up so far here tonight, Dave, and that is going to be Most Wanted. But it's all about how you get those eliminations, those engagements early on, and if you're really able to keep all 4 players standing. But Thinko
Yeah,
Gaming, they
yeah.
crashed onto Dauntless, I believe, losing one in the 4v3 position to Klaus. So having to play this a bit slower, but with them being so engaged in this now, Dave, they're forced to take this fight.
Yeah, Inco Gaming, interesting team. Last night, they were really popping off. You know, we saw multiple times really getting into some good skirmishes, and they kind of just fizzled out as the night continued to progress. So let's see what they can accomplish here up against Dauntless. Dauntless going to be inside the compound. Klaus with a nice little ricochet off the windowsill right there. Rosen on the outskirts behind the vehicles, anticipating the bolt out of Dauntless, but in the world, Rosen a little slow on the trigger pull right there to provide the support. So that's how the cookie crumbles. Most wanted here in those shots, they're going to be pulling up for a potential third party, but going back to Inco right there, the timing just not on their side.
Yeah, I think Bruno Zinn was a little bit late because he was trying to go for a nade play through the window, so not even having his weapon out, leaving Vitali just ISO'd out on the wall. And Dauntless, yeah, they were a 3-man, but they were 2-man pushing onto that outskirts of the compound, so really great timing from them. And yeah, unfortunately, you understand there's a third party, not much really to it. Inco Gaming being eliminated in, I believe, 12th place there. And I'm interested, Most Wanted actually did to address this, but seeing it maybe so one-sided, they're in the center of the circle, I don't blame them for disengaging.
Yeah, they definitely hear the shots, or at least heard them, and well, they know there's somebody over here, especially not Klaus, taking shots at them. So definitely aware. So Dauntless, their tried and true, you know, bread and butter strat is honestly just picking a compound early game and holding it down towards that late game, trying to keep all their squad mates alive. So it looks like this go around, well, they had to defend it here, and they did lose one in the process, but they got 4 eliminations, and they pretty much have a centralized position right now in this play zone. So they're probably going to be just hunkering down, and we'll most likely see them in the late game unless another team decides to crash them and things just don't work out for them. But what are your thoughts on Rondo and just strategies, specifically like just getting a compound dead center and holding it down for a good part of the game?
I think some teams have been able to make use of it, at least holding the compound and then some around it, whether it's the hillsides or maybe just multiple parts of a compound, whether it's a POI. Other squads have really struggled with holding it down and watching all angles, that whole 360 view. Kind of a lost art that most people forget about, where if you're in the center spot, you got to look every direction. You cannot be doubling up, while on the outskirts, obviously you could have your back to the blue zone. You don't have to worry too much about teams really coming into your backside from the blue zone. But now, I think with the jammer pack addition and stuff like that, if they were to have that into every single map, that would create a really interesting dynamic, I think, especially for the edge game squads and that floor range of getting that mid-game aggression going on, because the pyramid cover, the backpacks, I think it really brings back that idea of rotating around and working around people's blind spots. While Rondo, we've been able to see glimpses of that, a lot of people fighting it out. For the most part, these other teams in the POIs that do have held down, they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah, I really do hope the pyramid leech out right to the entire map pool. I think that'd be amazing. Rondo's been such a breath of fresh air here for us to be able to witness this weekend, especially on a competitive level with some pros as they really showcase their skills and abilities here.
Yeah,
been a great event here. Dauntless going to be taking some shots out there in the distance, holding it down once again. Looking around though, looking around, I see Klaus looking for some action, right? Doing some scouting. Besides that though, I feel like things are going to slow down just a little bit, you know, just a little bit.
Just a little. You're not thinking
Not
a lot,
but just a little bit.
Well, I think that's someone that I enjoy seeing getting a little bit active on the map. But with it being Rondo, we've seen so many people go for these vehicle plays, these kind of one-offs, and they really just get shot in the side, not realizing the layout of the land, that terrain where people hold. And that's the beauty of Rondos. You're going to learn something new every single time you play this for the next probably 100 or so tries.
Yeah.
You go on it.
Always
And for
learn.
these players, I mean, they each have probably a few thousand on Erangel and Miramar. So Rondo is just another learning experience, especially if you're just starting your competitive career. It's something that I would like to see in the map pool. Of course, you and I have been very vocal about that. So hopefully we're able to get it out of beta and into the big stage, because these other players, I think all the additions would make a real great part for the competitive side of things, especially if we're able to see it on the global stage.
The emergency cover flare. I'm not sure if I saw the battle red kit, the new rare consumable, only available in Rondo. Restores 100% of health. Does take 8 seconds, but I'm not sure we saw that. We've been seeing a lot of these single, the jammer backpacks. That is, not a lot of love for the Pico bus either, unfortunately. JS9 though, on the other hand, a lot of action with the JS9 here.
Yeah, I'm always, I don't mind shotguns being used so much, but with it being just the S12K, it's really that 50-50 we're seeing of the Uzi or JS9, and then the S12 being the secondary of choice for these squads. So I'm all for the JS9. Maybe if we could see the dual wield potentially come through, right, of the MP7s on this map, that could be a switch up too. I don't believe we've seen that just yet in these Rondo matches, but hopefully, that and the stun gun, we're waiting on it.
The stun gun, bros.
The stun gun is #1 on the list for me. I gotta see it at the end of the day. Someone hit it with someone.
Maybe if Coops and friends have like a 100-point lead, we could just see the whole squad rolling around with stun guns and pickaxes here. The pickaxe does do 60 damage, by the way. Yeah, it's a melee swap weapon, so does do damage. Rondo exclusive, by the way, for now, and also bonus, capable of destroying terrain, so you can go out here and dig holes. Why not?
Yeah, I've watched that movie Holes. Loved
Holes?
it as a kid, but I don't think
That's a classic.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
I
don't remember what the lesson was though.
No,
in it.
I just remember the name
one.
was Holes, and it was on something that looked like Miramar. So maybe the top right of Rondo, we could kind of picture it as. But you could do it everywhere on this map, Dave. As long as you got the dirt below you, you're able to dig yourself.
Yeah.
up
The robot mechs, though, they were crazy in that movie.
Oh,
I can't believe they almost took over the world.
I'm not sure what kind of holes you were watching, Dave. Maybe we're thinking of two different. Now you're really making me question us and on the wavelength right now.
Oh.
Yeah. I just remember they were digging holes in the sun, and that was it, which I guess would be the same for Rondo.
Yeah. Money makers. Fate. Looking at the cherry blossom trees out there in the distance, just admiring them. It is cherry blossom tree season, by the way. They're going to start to bloom here any week now. Looks like on Rondo, it's already happening. Rob's out here experimenting with some grenade action. Whoa! Take that. Little smoke action. Oh! Didn't work out, though. We crashed into the Pico bus, saving the day.
Yeah, now it's going to be the 1v1 Tensa versus Rival. You got to get active on this. You got to look forward, but Rob's the shots come through, and unfortunately, PIS going to be eliminated by Most Wanted, but Liquid Vincier, the squad that needed some extra points this game, coming in for the third party, and now Rob's, he's got to fend off 3 players. Is he going for the reset? Is he getting the heal off? I think it's just him. So Liquid Vincier, they're sending it. They're actually going for the third person. It looks like maybe even a vehicle run over onto Rob's. No, make it the MP7, cleaning the house, and for the most part, Dave, I mean, 7 elims, they made it look easy right there for that third part.
I know we were talking about Most Wanted playing catch up with Coops and friends, but Liquid, another squad within reach of that first place spot, currently sitting on 7. Beautiful eliminations here this game. Dauntless with 5 too, by the way, but yeah, Liquid, the timing right there, impeccable. They recognize, hey, there's a fight going on over there. BIS, they were getting picked apart, but Liquid rolling up right from behind. No hesitation to clean up on aisle 5.
Yeah, I think some of these squads as well, this Dauntless being one of those squads that still hasn't really answered most likely would have been Seer or most wanted out of these first few matches we've seen. And for the most part, another squad that we actually just saw is going to be Angels Esports making their rotation. And a team that's been a little bit quiet. They're our first place, I believe, for the Ladies Division Titan Series.
Yes, sir.
But with this, we're talking top 8 positioning already. So I'm hoping to see from them, especially now with us being able to kind of see their perspective, hopefully get into this sort of top 4, top 3 range and get a few more elims under their belt.
Yeah, they've been real quiet all day yesterday, but now that we are officially over the halfway mark of the Rondo Royale, with only 3 more games to go, no better time to really crank up the heat than now. But Klaus from behind, from the high ground, though, will be spotting out that member from the Angels and taking her down immediately. So we are going to still have some more Angel members alive. They're going to be pushing a little further into the play zone. Like Dauntless. Yeah, Dauntless. That's the thing with Dauntless, man. Once when they see an enemy, a tasty snack out there, they don't let it go until they've had their filling. Dauntless, 6 eliminations so far here. Enigma, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing if they're going to aggress on this just yet, because I do believe Dauntless is right next to Coops and Friends. So Angel Esports potentially rotating a bit early for my liking, but luckily for them, being able to at least keep 3 players up. I think the other squad's been able to really support them in this endeavor, but for the most part, we're talking stage 4 right now. So the zone damage is going to start doing a little bit of ticks to you, but it's really just a matter of how little there is to terrain or maybe even these compounds to be playing. And I'd honestly would like to see Angel Esports really condense down on that shack the other 2 players are holding, kind of wait it out and see where the zone ends, because if it ends towards this sort of open rice field here, it would be disastrous for any other team trying to drive into you. You don't want to be the one ISO'd out in the open.
Yeah, it's tough. A lot of angles here, especially considering this next play zone is going to shift down there towards the south. Straight out of Paul, still a 4-man unit. Going to be holding down the southern parts of the play zone. Most wanted. Looking for some eliminations. Coops and Friends, though, losing 2 is going to set them back here. So not going to be playing as aggressive as we gotten used to seeing them here in this tournament. Playing for some placement points right now. Moneymakers have been extremely quiet. Moneymakers, they did lose one of their squad mates here early on. They still got that trio. They're going to be in the zone as well over there on that west side. So a couple squads who are set up in a nice position, power position, I'll say. Curious to see what they end up accomplishing here. Stage 5, 8 teams remaining here. Match number 3.
Yeah, I think they're honestly just going to wait for potentially the circle to close. And if anyone chooses to either crash onto them or play this western edge, they could kind of spread themselves out and push forward for some elim points. But like I said before, right at the start of the day, they have a lot of elims, just not really placement points. So a nice switch up of strategy potentially for the squad, maybe losing that 1 player Red Ox early on, change the game plan for them. But this is what I like seeing. You got, honestly, the God spot in this zone. If you're able to really kind of find the right squads, maybe not towards SON, in my opinion, but these other teams on this western or northern side, if you could potentially pick off 1 or 2 elims off of maybe thirst or just knocking and immediately finishing your food, that would really put moneymakers in the spot they want. Because we're talking about it right now, right? Game 3 currently. We've got 2 more after this. If you're wanting to be around that first place position, trying to steal it away from Coops and Friends, this is your time to do it now.
Yeah, and I know Moneymakers really haven't had the best night so far. Now, we still got some games to go, and they're still active and in a good position for this current map. So we'll have to stay tuned here. As straight out of Nepal, talk about a team that has been on the rise tonight, I believe, almost within that top 5 range on the overall leaderboard. Straight out of Nepal, going to be looking for the high ground advantage over Zero Fox Gibbon. We saw Zero Fox Gibbon Pepsi really clutch it out here tonight a couple times. Now going to be behind this boulder with the buggy. Oh, but spotted out there. I mean, these angles, this is what we're talking about. There's so many different angles that just makes it so challenging to find a spot and truly feel like you're safe.
Yeah, I think if Zero Fox had all 4 players up there, they could have made it work, but unfortunately the Zombie Boys went just at the same moment for the rotation, and unfortunately the Angels, they were off healing it off, trying to get some placement points, not able to make it in for free. And back to the Zero Fox strategy, I enjoy their positioning. It's just you got to have all the members up to really watch each other's backs, because we see it. I mean, SON, Coops and Friends, they're just waiting for your smoke or for you to jump out of your vehicle. And yeah, you have the one player you get a few placement points, but the eliminations are really where it matters. And unfortunately, just the divot made by Wolf able to keep himself safe for that elimination. That's going to be ZFG out. But now we're talking, Dave, top 3 position. A lot of big names left.
So tough, though. Yeah, definitely, like you said, so tough with these positions. So we'll see. Top 3 situation. That's where we find ourselves. Straight out of Nepal. Looking pretty good. The whole team alive. Frankie needs to... I was going to say watch out, but Crow's the one that needs to do the watching. As Crow's going to be looking at the ants in the grass right there. Looking for the bugs. Frankie just hitting that shot. Spence over here looting a crate. But the support of Blaze in the front line. So straight out of Nepal, looking to really get the winner chicken dinner here, as long as they don't overextend and not be within range to really support each other. This is looking like their win here.
Yeah, SON really just taking a fight on 2 fronts. Coops and Friends and Moneymakers both losing players to the offense. Now they're actually forcing each other's fight for that second place, make it that first place spot. Moneymakers 2v4 position against Frankie and Spence up close and personal, but we're seeing the nades, Dave. We're seeing them just be completely encompassed. It's all a matter if you can hit the shots, but it's always a matter of time before something extra. Fate, who finds one, he might be salvaging this for the squad.
5 grenades, 2 Molotovs. Really going to be looking to utilize this utility here. Frankie crawling towards Wolf saying, I'm safe, get me up. Fate, though, still cooking the grenades from down range here. Getting a lot of damage on the battlefield. Here comes the follow-up. Now Fate going to be pulling up, trying to get another grenade. Get that knock. They know they're trying to get the revives through the smoke, but while Fate is concentrated on the 2 players ahead of them, Spence and Blaze, they're going to be pushing up just a little bit closer towards Fate. Now Fate, well, back against the tree here. It's going to be a challenging winner chicken dinner. They swap positions now on the high ground.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing which kind of duo they fight, because the smokes, they only have so much time. The vehicle run over, and he's not even getting a chance to shoot his gun. The other one as well. The off angle SON winner chicken dinner for match number 3. And we got to remember, Dave, it wasn't just that 4v2, right? We're talking 4v3v3, I think, at the end there. So them really being able to keep each squad down as just a solo or duo. SON proving that their off angles really are kind of the cream of the crop on Rondo.
Yeah, I did like Fate's aggression, though, right there at the end, you know, especially recognizing like, hey, I got all these grenades. What am I holding on for? So pushing up, getting a lot of damage on the board. But then we did see straight on Paul with the clutch pickup action to pick up the homie, pull back just a little bit. And Fate was so concentrated on trying to flush him out that the duo with the 2-2 split actually able to get a really nice position, a nice look on the duo. So shout out to Most Wanted, though, still, you know, showing up. Shout out to the money makers showing up with some eliminations. But really, this game straight out of Nepal, 7 eliminations, average time 25 minutes and 44 seconds. So straight out of Nepal on the come up here. That's what we were talking about coming up.
Yeah, the damage numbers aren't too crazy high, but obviously yesterday we were seeing, what, 13, 14, 20
we had a
eliminations.
record.
Yeah, 21,
20.
I think it was. So all these squads able to put up the damage numbers. Let's bring in that match results of that last game, because if I'm seeing 7 eliminations, out of SON, Dave. I'm really kind of wondering what the elimination spread looks like in the lobby. I'm not too sure if a lot of teams were really able to sponge it up or if it was more so kind of a balanced section. Yeah, we're seeing it. A lot of teams not really overperforming too much in my mind. Pretty balanced for the most part, in my opinion.
Pretty balanced, but the thing is, the caveat, the main takeaway for me, Trainer Paul, GG's, right? GG's.
Yeah.
Liquid, GG's. Even Dauntless, 7 eliminations, GG's. You know, round of applause. The kicker, Hoops and Friends, still with 10 eliminations, and then the 5 placement points. So that's going to be 15 total points. So there's just no stopping this team right now. I mean, the consistency from Hoops and Friends is head over heels. And honestly, when you see them get eliminated a little early on or lose a member here, lose a member there, you're like, okay, this is our moment to really catch up. But the reality is they're still popping off. They're still performing with just a duo. And Hoops and Friends, that game specifically, Hoops with 5 of those eliminations. So carrying the baton, right? Carrying the baton. And not the baton the player, but the baton in the game to continue to be at the top.
Yeah, and for the most part, I mean, it's all about who's at the top. I'm pretty sure we have the overalls ready for us to see. It's all about, you know, obviously that first place position. We got a good read. It's going to be Coops and Friends, but the second place spot, we're talking $900 if you finish second place here tonight, Dave. We're already past the camel hump. That is game number 3 for day 2.
Yes,
and
sir.
With it being a 1-point gap between Most Wanted and Liquid, it's still a nail biter on who's going to be receiving that second most cash prize.
So 2 more games to go. Coops and Friends 37, right? If I know how to do math, 37 points. 38 ahead of Liquid. 2 games to go. I wouldn't say it's impossible, that's for sure. I think if there was a team at the bottom, maybe, you know, you want to make a name for yourself. Maybe you just want to spice it up because, you know, this is a competitive lobby, but it's also a show match, right? So if you do hot drop and you do get eliminated, we're not going to be like, oh, wow, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, you tried, you know, you put on a show. So if there was a team to maybe do that, that would be great. You know, I got my popcorn ready to go. And that might open this up for Most Wanted, Liquid. But the reality is, Coops and Friends, they've been so consistent that even if they were to be hot dropped, there's a good chance that they're not going to be taken out. So it's wild, man. It's been a wild tournament for sure, especially with only 2 more games to go.
Yeah, and it's all about those 2 games. We're going to be going to a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere because we come back. Match number 4 of Rondo Royale coming your way.
Rondo is officially here in PUBG Mobile version 3.7. It has unique scenery and loads of stores. Let's go over them together. To start off, we have the Basic Store, which can be found all over. At the Basic Store, you can purchase supplies and supply blind boxes and sell attachments. Then there's the Garage Store, which only appears by the side of the road. It's like the Basic Store, except you can purchase vehicles from it as well. If you need to get around, you know where to look. Finally, there's the much rarer Premium Store that only appears in Luohua Xing and Rinjiang. The Premium Store has all the features of the Basic Store and Garage Store, with the added option of purchasing airdrop weapons. Gaining access to the Premium Store, however, is easier said than done. It's surrounded by powerful guards. You must defeat them all to get to the store. So if you want to get your hands on advanced equipment, you'll have to challenge the guards. That's all for this introduction to Rondo stores. I hope they bring you more fun and strategic options.
Try something new, Pico Bus. Battery-powered extraordinary torque. How fast does it take to accelerate from 0 to 100? Give it a try. Intimidate your enemies. Check this out. power up with a stun gun. Immobilize the enemy and obstruct their vision. One more thing, got blue zone anxiety? No worries, not with this. Come to Rondo and give it a try.
Version 3.7 introduces a brand new map, Rondo. Let's explore it together. It is the largest map in the game by landmass and accommodates up to 100 players at a time. Here, traditional style meets modern aesthetics beneath clear skies and sunsets. Jadina City is a dense urban sprawl of towering skyscrapers and abundant supplies. The city's prosperity flourishes under dazzling neon lights. A bridge crosses the entire city, and there are escalators and moving walkways all over to help you get around. All cities are surrounded by suburbs. Floating on water at the southern end of Rondo are Rinjiang's restaurant and luxurious waterfront residences, which offer a great view of the docks. Rondo is also home to many industries. The local NeoX factory is one of them. They manufacture all kinds of vehicles that then make their debut on the test track. Take a break from the modern opulence of the city to visit locations like Tinlong Garden or Yulin and enjoy the beautiful scenery with Eastern-style architecture. Or head to Stadium and Jiaotin to enjoy some theater and a sports event. Rondo has lots to offer no matter where you go. In addition to these diverse landscapes, Rondo also has mechanics that make it unique. When you enter Rondo, you may be randomly assigned to one of two planes with the rest of your team. Spreading players out like this increases the overall utilization of the map. Shops in Rondo are also unlike any other. There are basic stores and premium stores. Basic stores are common and can carry supplies, vehicles, or supply blind boxes. Its currency can be obtained by selling firearm attachments or gold bars. Gold bars are obtained from safes located throughout the map. Premium stores only appear in Rinjiang and Lohua Shine. They carry airdrop supplies, so if you're skilled enough, definitely go for them. Beware that they're patrolled by powerful guards that you must...
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the official first ever Rondo Royale. Seeing this new map, Rondo, around the 7-year anniversary mark for PUBG Mobile. I'm Enigma with the GOAT himself, Mustache Dave, next to me, baby. And we're talking about it. 3 matches already down. We got 2 more coming up. That $5,000 total. It's still up for grabs for a lot of these squads.
Rondo! What would you do with 5K right now? Say I gave you $5,000. What's the first thing you're doing with it?
I'm asking the
Don't even think about it.
Give me the crow outfit. We're coming back to that. The crow outfit, and then if there's a little bit left over, give me some car skins in the game. Some of these people, I ain't got some of them. Some of these players, they're showing me up with it. And I'm like, man, that Coop skin, the Dastia, some of them, I mean, they're pretty badass, to say the least, right?
They're
and
nice.
These players, obviously, we got, the bus now. We got I believe, the new SUV as well on Rondo. So potential new skins as well, right? For them to add more into the game for you and I and everyone else to use.
Very true. I think first thing I would do though is go get a custom-made ice cream cake. Like I'm talking like I got 5 cakes, so this is gonna be like a 5x5 ice cream cake, like just giant ice cream cake. And it's gonna be Rondo themed though, right? I think you know how the ghillie suit has that unique pattern, like with the flowers and the grass and stuff. Let's make it like that. You know, that's the decoration. And then on top of it, I want a cake pico bus. All right. So ice cream cake on the bottom,
right on top.
Pico bus on the top. And then I want a chocolate chip cookie horse on the side. I want it all, man. I got $5,000. I'm spending my $5,000 on this cake. All right. And listen, you can have a piece, man. It's gonna be a lot of cake. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 4, Rondo Royale. $5,000. Let's get it, baby.
Rondo! You did it earlier. I didn't join you. I gotta bring it back. Rondo! And for the most part, I appreciate you're gonna give me a slice of that. For the most part, I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna add a pickaxe and stuff like that. I'm saying you gotta have the stun gun in there. I'll have a piece of the stun gun on the cake, to say the least.
A real working one.
Yeah. Oh. Well. You know, maybe
it's
not
cranked
a
down
piece of
pretty
that.
low though. It's like you know those batteries, you know the little D batteries. If you were to like, you know,
it's like an energy drink almost.
Shock yourself. Yeah, it's low energy, so it's not like it's just a little like gotcha. You know what I'm saying? That's my piece of the cake. Gotcha. You know, so
I'll remember that. To say Dave. The gotcha. I'll be like Dave got me again.
I got the slice just for you.
But the cake, for the most part, I mean, these players, some of them we've seen having a little bit of that taste of chicken, to say the least, today and yesterday. Mostly going to be from the likes of Coops and Friends. And by the way, now, obviously, they're below that 50% of match wins here during the Rondo Royale event. But with them, we saw it, obviously, a little bit of, I believe, 31 points between them and second place. So first place,
that's
a little bit of a gap. We'll have to see if one of these lower squads, 2 through, I believe, 5, can get a win under their belt to really kind of make it competitive. But that being said, second place, I believe, $900 still up for grabs. So it's not all just in first place, Dave. We're talking second, third. There's still a good piece of the pie up for grabs.
Good piece of the pie.
Piece of the cake.
Piece of the cake.
Guess.
I mean, we could add some pie to the cake. I mean, it's just all types of desserts. I mean, it's just a Rondo special at this point. So yeah, we could throw a pie in there. What type of pie though? What type of pie? This is the real test. What type of pie?
Pumpkin pie, baby. Bring it back,
brother.
What? You're not a fan? Oh man. See, we're on wavelengths, and then we're not.
Apple crumb. All right. Or it's Dutch apple. One of those two. Dutch apple crumb. That's it. That's locked in right there all day. Locked in like Team Washed over here. With the top hat. Top of the day to you, mate.
Top of the day. What about a mummy outfit? I mean, we're talking about, he's got a little bit of glow to him. I'm not sure what kind of wrappings he's got going on for Zephon's actual fit going on. But they got 2 elims. It looks like they fought one squad here. Already having the better end of the stick when it comes to fighting them. But got to get the last 2. And you said it day 1, Dave. You only need 2 to play in this lobby, really, to make it through the likes of Rondo. But looks like it was against possibly Burn and Silence and Rival. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Vehicle coming into play. Just going to try to finish this game as a 2-man, I believe.
2-man. That's all you need. 2 men and a dream.
A dream. Unfortunately, though, it looks like... Oh, no. Wait.
Oh, no.
Pepsi.
Oh, no. Pepsi.
What happened here? Oh, maybe a blessing.
Maybe a
Able
blessing.
to get out.
What's Pepsi doing over there?
Maybe it was for a vehicle.
Waiting for the pickup.
Something.
Waiting for the pickup. That's what's happening.
But I'd be worried. You don't know that it's BIS, right? It could have potentially been a 4-man squad hunting you down, but luckily the rest of the team is going to be pulling up and looking for that off angle. And actually found him on the road. No vehicle for the Burn and Silence solo to really find, making just Rival the solo remaining. And unfortunately, I was hoping Burn and Silence was able to have a pretty solid game. They had good momentum in the last few matches, getting a few elims and placement points. But now, Zero Fox Given picking it up for elim point, and for them to kind of start early on.
Shout out to Burn and Silence, though. I mean, this is a team from the Titan Series Women's League. Second place, extremely strong contender. Just not having the best of days here. So it happens. It happens. One more game after this. GL, you know, good luck because they're going to need it. They're going to need it. But Zero Fox given. You'll love to see him in the pickle bus with the M249 looking for some early eliminations.
Yeah, I'd expect the bus to have a lot of HP, kind of like the Miramar bus. Obviously just electric instead of gas now, but Liquid and Vincier, they're doing a little bit of a run back of this 4v4 engagement, finding one on the Extreme Slayers, but Brady with the off angle, able to salvage the situation a little bit, but he's got to be really careful. He's ISO'd out on this far western edge outside the compound, so reposition is going to be coming through. He's actually making it right now as I say it, so nice heads up play. But this is the issue with these 4v4 fights, Dave, is really being able to keep track of where all the players are at all times.
That's true. And almost every single game here tonight, we've witnessed Extreme Slayers, you know, in this skirmish. This is a rematch from last game, by the way. Liquid coming out on top of that one. So this town, Yulin, not big enough for the both of us, is what they're saying. As one of these squads, just give it up. You know what I'm saying? Just give it up. There's so many spots on Rondo. Rondo is the largest map in PUBG Mobile. Yeah. I know a lot of people thought it was Miramar. No. It is going to be Rondo. We did the math in. It has the most playable terrain. So Miramar, you got that left-hand side that's kind of cut off the mountain range. You got a lot of water on the right-hand side. So yeah, when it comes to Rondo, the largest map. So with that in mind, so many different points of interest that you can drop safely. You know, you don't need to fight. You don't need to fight. This is a nice spot, though.
I'd honestly wish it was Extreme Slayers maybe not taking this engagement, because Liquid Vincier is in that top 4 range. They are the squad where if they make it to the late game, potentially wipe out Coops and friends, they could be shooting themselves up the leaderboard. But every second here, especially we can see in the top right, 1,000 meters outside of the play circle. So if they lose any player here from Extreme Slayers, which we've seen a lot of squads make the error of after getting 2 or 3 knocks, given that early elimination. So hopefully we can see this kind of result in a winning favor for Liquid Vincier, but also Extreme Slayers needing the points badly to their name.
They do. Extreme Slayers, the gauntlet winners. So definitely had a target on their back. Oh, that's a wall. And hopefully insurance covers this, though.
We'll blame his teammate for banging it up on the wall. It wasn't me.
I got a VOD saying it was, though. There's footage of you.
I'll cut it for him. I'll make it happen.
Oh,
goodness.
Boom. The one tap. Dirt nap right there.
And the dirt nap in the building. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I mean,
dirt ball strat.
2 of the players were off in Narnia, you know, getting the loot, banging up the vehicle. So this knock really isn't doing that much for them unless they can whittle out Frady, but he's actually rotated all of the way around this compound here. So really maybe spelling disaster for Liquid Vincier. And I don't think Zing has any idea there's a guy over here. Being able to potentially be spotted as well on the run back. It looks like the shots come through. 1 HP proning on the wall, and gotta just find the one headshot. There it goes, right on the wall. And Extreme Slayers, they're getting a little bit sketched out, holding this POI down, but the rest of the Liquid Vincier just not supporting the solo that was holding it down.
Everybody's on their own little Navy SEAL mission almost at this point, you know, just trying to get the loot and trying to really set up for the mid to late game. But honestly, they need to get past this skirmish first before moving forward. So fortunate though, Extreme Slayers still going to be alive with all 4 of their squad mates here, of course. And Extreme Slayers, going back to this team in particular, I believe they're last place almost. You know, they're at the bottom of the leaderboard, so they can definitely use this early game skirmish win to kind of get that confidence flowing here once again, that momentum as we head into the last game of the evening coming up next, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they've got to make sure to at least get out of the point of interest that is on that western edge they fought at. But I was really concerned as we talked about it, players, because Dauntless driving all the way from their spot up northwest of the battleground stadium, coming third party. That the Liquiders here losing one of them to, I believe it was Klaus or one of their members from Dauntless, now turning their sights to Extreme Slayers. And this is the issue, right? You take so long, you have the same sort of 4v4 spot. Other teams that are paying attention to the elimination feed will understand, hey, these guys are still at the same position. Why not look for those eliminations? And Dauntless, I mean, they're the team that's had their moment of brilliance. Unfortunately not. Oh my goodness, just putting them down in the dirt with the 2-4, but really kind of struggling to make it to the late game as all those 4 squads do.
It happens. It happens. Definitely spicing it up here as we got 2 more games to go. We're starting to see the bolties happen. And talking about happening, Chiffon and crew getting a good piece out of the Coops and Friends here. Coops and Friends, that's it. They're eliminated here. So that's going to open it up for these other squads looking to close the gap. Talking about opening it up, and Todd looking to claim back that MVP prize pool here tonight. We were talking during the break, but Ton really has been quiet here tonight, especially after their crazy performance here last night, coming into day number 2 with 20 eliminations to themselves. Haven't really seen them, but now they're like, hey, we got 2 more games to go. I need to get this cash money, baby. So gonna be really aggressive. But yeah, talk about the major headline here. Coops and Friends out early, no points. The goose egg, 2 more games to go. That's going to open it up for teams like second place, Most Wanted, teams like Liquid, teams like Dauntless. So
yeah,
they have an opportunity here, Enigma.
Yeah, we saw it in the gauntlet. They allowed those last few games to really slip away. They thought that 30-40 point lead they had was enough, but if the same squad goes back to back, they don't even need to really even win, right? It could be just high elimination rounds. They go back to back, it really comes down to who has the most elims on the final day. And unfortunately for Coops and Friends, I'm really hoping that they don't do it again, because that was a 2-point loss they had in the gauntlet. It was literally down to that final match. Yeah, it came down to it all, leading in first the entire event throughout those finals, and unfortunately giving it up to Extreme Slayers to pass them up. But this time around, it's looking like it's going to be another squad, either going to be, obviously, like you said, Most Wanted or Dauntless. So I'm interested in seeing, I'm hoping, to be honest, that we have it like that nail biter right up to the very end for that first place cash prize.
I hope so. I mean, they did a great job to make it this far, but we can't afford to see them let it slip, especially being back-to-back tournaments. That would just be heartbreaking. But that's what we were talking about, though, that overconfidence, right? That overconfidence. You start to really get that ego. Well, let's see. Moneymakers. Oh, I saw you, buddy.
Wow.
Moneymakers and Dauntless, 2 teams now on the hunt, looking to overthrow and at least catch up to Coops and Friends here. They're gonna be clashing, taking each other out, unfortunately.
One team that's been clashing a lot, Dave, we're seeing them right now again, is going to be Zephon's team. Team Washed, right? They were the squad that took out Coops and Friends, now taking a little bit more engagements with heads on now it's going to be the far eastern edge of the circle shift. And with this squad, I'm expecting them to really be able to make it into the late game, be able to get eliminations under their belt. But it looks like they're going against one of our favorite teams, Zero Fox Give and Pepsi, especially. Try to get some angles on them.
Looking for the angles now. Chiffon, Team Washed. They've been popping off here this match here, Enigma. Look at the 7 eliminations. Ooh. So looking at a team to really try to avoid here, who are definitely feeling it. This is the squad here. Team Washed. I'm looking at the lobby. They currently they got tied for eliminations. Moneymaker sitting on 7 as well. So Moneymakers, Team Washed, 2 teams that are on the come up here on match number 4. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled because straight out of Nepal, they're going to be clashing right now with Inco. We got grenades ringing on out. We got 7, 8 on the rooftop trying to support his squad mates. Blaze rolling up with the MG3 drive-by, leaning out the window, but 7 going to be knocking them out right there. 7 has all the games, by the way, from this position. My dude is got a lockdown.
Yeah, I'm interested in wondering what Spence's kind of off angles are like because he has both the Inco players right in front of him, but Blaze going for that little drive-by, the seat swap, really failing to put him on the back foot. And look at this. I mean, Inco, they full aggress onto the hillside, getting both the 2 for 0. Now leaving Inco Gaming what was believed to be essentially a 2v4 on that ridge line now. One position. Now make it 3v1 with 7 getting active on the mountaintop. And you said it best. I mean, he was able to see every single angle. SON really maybe just getting a little bit too excited off of their win in that last match. So hopefully Inco Gaming, they're able to kind of replicate this, not just now, but in this mid to late game section of match 4. And hopefully, obviously match 5 today.
Yeah, we'll have to see here as things are heating up. You love to see it, man. You love to see it. Last game, a little slow towards the early to mid game. 15 minutes in. But I believe players are starting to realize, like, hey, man, we need to get these points. We need to get these eliminations. So another interesting kind of development happening with this map is that we actually have that water kind of separating the zone almost, right? We really haven't experienced that here tonight. So we're going to start to see teams either pick the left side or the right side. And we'll see where the zones continue to favor. But one of the main focal points here on this end zone here to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how the cover is going to play through, which vehicles we're going to see. Obviously, the pickaxe, I think, would be monumental for some squads, right? If you're down right next to the water line and be able to dig yourself a little nice spot, a meter or so deep. But these squads right now, I mean, the issue is you'd have to hold essentially both sides of the river if it does center up on that. So these squads maybe going to opt to take the initial fights early on before they're forced to really kind of send it into the water. But I'm all for the water.
You're all for it.
To be honest, I'm all for it. I know you were going to ask me that. I'm all for it. I want to see people start sending it and really kind of just looking to maybe take a swim on Rondo.
Swim on Rondo. Things are heating up, so we'll have to see. I think if I'm a solo, yeah, I'm swimming. I am swimming. But if I still got the squad up, maybe a trio, I'm fighting, man. I'm swinging. I'm going out with the bang here. So Team Wash, this is their best game yet, I feel like, out of the whole tournament. So maybe they're just a sleeper team waiting for the end here. They're really showing up here. Really getting involved here. They're going to be looking across the way, that water right between them. Straight out of Nepal on the other side. A couple members of Inco. Hey, there's Spence in the water. So that's one thing about Rondo that I truly appreciate as well, is the water is just beautiful. I know we were talking about it last night, and I mean, this current, that's a strong current right there.
Luckily he's not drifting down. Imagine if that was the thing in the game, right? You got to go against the current and keep moving over and over and over again. But now we see it, Dave. The map feed comes up, shifts all the way down southwest. Moneymakers holding essentially 50% of the circle, but there's a little bit of room, it seems, on that eastern edge towards Team Washed and the Zombie Boys. But everyone now, they're trying to get their position in this next circle, especially Inco Gaming that holds as far south ahead.
Inco trying to survive just a little longer, looking for Spence, but I think Spence is just gonna play the Navy SEAL strat, just swim up there like we were talking about, right? I mean, let them be here. 11 teams still remain here. Game number 4 of the evening, number 9 of the tournament here. Moneymakers, Baton getting pieced up, but not taken out here. 8 eliminations going their way. Moneymakers, another squad deciding to show up here. Game 9 out of 10. One downrange. Fallon gonna be zooming on right by. avoiding the shots, but not for long. 5.56 rounds will be finding him and immediately thirsting him. Ooh. Snowyx, though, we got something to say. That's my squad mate right there. And Rob's right here with the grenade, right within range. My dude's cooking it. We're tossing it. Baton, the spidey senses were tingling right there because Baton backed out just a little bit. Now Baton is the one cooking the grenade, but Rob's on the boulder top, shotgun lock and loaded. Baton's gonna be pinned down for the time being, but the moneymaker squad mates doing everything in their power to really save Baton here. Crow, 6 grenades, gonna start going fishing out here. Baton doing the same thing over here. Most wanted there, getting bombarded from all angles right here, Enigma.
Yeah, and they're going for it right now. Everyone's full sending on the ridge line. The shotguns, the pre-fires come through, and unfortunately for Most Wanted, they're going to be taking the casualties now, I believe, down to just a solo on the ridge line. Moneymakers, they hold on to the edge. Unfortunately, it's going to be Baton down and out, but the rest of the squad, they could still make it happen. They've got to clean it up on the Most Wanted squad because you got to keep it this 1v3. You cannot allow them to get the reset. The burst does come through, and the vehicle's not even going to make it, Dave. Clean wipe for the Moneymakers. 12 eliminations now to their name.
Moneymakers showing up here, game 9 of 10. Moneymakers looking to do just that and make some money here tonight. 12 eliminations going their way. And they're not done yet as we look to the play zone. It will be hard shifting out there to that west side. That west side who... That's Extreme Slayers holding that one down over there, so they're gonna be smiling. Zombie Boys, though, gonna get some eliminations up against Team Wash.
Yeah, it looks like they were fighting two fronts. Team Washed and X-Force both tuning in their sights towards this position. But luckily for the Zombie Boys, I think they had some deployable cover use, being able to essentially stall out X-Force from pushing up on them so freely. And now, yeah, we see it. The circle shift happens. Everyone's going to start turning their sights to cross the water because if you take this fight with Team Wash, the Zombie Boys, they're both essentially going to be going down to pop a blue, right? You're going to have to deal with the rotation through the water. So with 50 seconds remaining on the clock, I'm expecting every single squad on this east side to really just start sending it through the water.
Yeah, you gotta deal with something. Oh! Team Wash going for a car wash, that is. Chief on forever. Still gonna be up here. I don't know, Chief on. Chief on should have went with the boys. Should have went with the boys for the swim here.
Maybe he thought he could have stalled, but it looks like actually one of them drowned, so that's gonna be 2 players knocked out. Luckily, I think you're able to res in the water, if I'm not mistaken now. So Team Wash could potentially get the 3-man up and going, but Moneymakers, they're on the other side. I mean, look at this. Just 2 players just hawking you down from the side. And with Extreme Slayers playing so passive in the circle, it's just allowing them to really just shoot fish in a barrel here. That's actually going to be all of Team Wash eliminated. And now their sights, they're turning right at the Zombie Boys.
As well. Some more points on the board. Zombie Boy's going to be using the bridge down there, I believe, skirting over. Going to be keeping their vehicles. Going to be showing up in the southern part of the play zone. Baton, unfortunate for him. 6 eliminations. Okay, but eliminated, right? So when we talk about the MVP race, hopefully the 6 elims will be able to keep them afloat here as we do head into the last match of the evening coming up next for the Rondo Royale. But back to this one. 4 teams remain. Who do you got?
I'm loving the Moneymakers right now. Even though Baton was kind of the star of the show, I'm seeing Red Ox with 5s to his name still, and they're really trying to get active now onto the Zombie Boys. I'm not too sure if they realize it's a 4-man here, but I like the action. I like the aggression. Hopefully they're able to play this just right, whether it's with these sort of vehicle plays, a smoke wall, potentially even that sort of deployable cover if they have any remaining in this spot. But the circle shift comes down this way, southeast, Dave. These squads are looking for the action, and the Zombie Boys, they're taking the brunt of it.
Zombie Boys, you got Sex Flicks back there, not really with the proper angle. Meanwhile, Trevor just
Wow.
with the shotgun right there, getting the job done. Holy cow, zombie boys. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, I think he got all 3 of the eliminations there, 2 of them with just 1 of the S12K shots. So putting in the work, saving the squad on the ridgeline. And now Extreme Slayers, they try to get active with it, but we're still seeing that solo from Liquid Vincier being a thorn in the side of the squad that essentially had zone this whole match. So what seemed to be an Extreme Slayers win now turning to your boys, Dave, the Zombie Boys. They're looking to go in hot, and now they're sending it.
Sending it, doing some donuts, trying to get the runovers. This is when you want the concrete barriers to really come into play to put a stop to the vehicle. Yeet. Oh, grenade right there. Mistakes were made. Zombie boys just a little too confident trying to get the winner chicken dinner. Just lost 2 of their squad mates right there. Ah, that hurts. That hurts.
The nade.
That hurts.
The nade, I mean, you can't even blame them, right? It's just they full send it. They got the guy in the smoke, and they just get destroyed in the open. But now look at this. There's still 2 players of the Zombie Boys remaining with Liquid Vincier, the solo, running fully in the open. But the damage is done. Extreme Slayers, even with that knock and thirst on 2, it's still looking like anyone's game. And now it's just the open field, Dave. Stage 7, these guys are feeling every shot at him.
Oh my goodness, Zombie Boys. Trevor feeling good, obviously, after the squad wiper Reno. 3 teams remain here still. Solo from Liquid, just watching this all unfold as Extreme Slayers, the Gauntlet champions, really trying to get a win here in this Rondo Royale. That's a top 10 rock right there on Rondo.
Yeah.
Look at this rock. Holy cow, nothing but cover. You just lean peek that bad boy.
Yep.
Look how high you are up here on this this flat terrain back here.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's got the deployable cover. If he could throw it just a few meters inside in front of him, he could definitely make it in this next circle shift. And I'm worried about Trevor because the rock, I think it's just elevated enough to potentially see him. No, it's not, but the zone closing, all these people are going to have to start moving into that open dip. The smokes, all of the deployable covers, it's going to be worth its weight in gold. And now we're seeing it, Dave. The zone's starting to constrict.
It's closing in here. You got the deployable cover, going to provide some type of angle to crawl up here from both sides. The solo from Liquid is just on a mission, honestly, at this point to survive. Gotta be popping up.
Oh,
Taking some shots, really being a thorn in the side of Extreme Slayers. And look at that! The Zombie Boys, winner, Zombie Boys, chicken dinner, baby.
yeah, I wasn't
Zombie
feeling
boys.
it, but that duo play on the rock, you know, you said they got a little bit too overeager, but luckily Trevor
It blew
wasn't
up,
the
yeah.
one in the vehicle. He was still around, and I think you said it best yourself, Dave. Liquid Vincier just really being a thorn in the side of Extreme Slayers. He had, I think, 3, if not 4 knocks onto him while they were going for that engagement on the Zombie Boys. So really just good stuff from him. Big heads up play from solo players, right? We really see that sort of snake angle come in now. On Rondo, he's feeling it, and fortunate enough for them, they were able to get those few extra points he was able to bring to the table. But like we said, Dave, we got to get the breakdown. The Zombie Boys, let's bring in that winner chicken dinner stat line for the squad. 1,700 damage, almost 8 elims, but the full squad timer, Dave, essentially all game long.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh, we like it, baby.
That's how you like it. So going back to the solo though from Liquid, was it necessary in your professional opinion for him to take those shots, or was it just a nerves thing? Right? Did he pop up and think that they saw him? Because I felt like Extreme Slayers, they were definitely tunnel vision onto the Zombie Boys, right? Because they were kind of locked in that heated engagement. So I feel like the solo from Liquid could have remained underneath the radar, kind of let them fight it out and then pop up for the last second third party. That's kind of what I saw from my vantage point, not exactly sure what they might have saw from their POV. But regardless, like you said, that solo from Liquid was truly the spoiler for Extreme Slayers in their winner chicken dinner. But shout out to all three of those teams because they got a good amount of points here for that match.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Moneymaker's Team Watch as well, both putting up some solid elim counts in the match rankings. Obviously, they weren't in that top 3 placement. The placement points really only giving them 3-4 points. But the remainder of the squads, I mean, you're asking me about Liquid Vincier the solo. I think shooting early was good, but right at the end there, that snake play, I think it took him too long, to be honest, to get into the circle. We saw that blue zone kind of get right on him. And at that point, we're talking stage 7. It's going to be doing a lot of damage to you. But for that being said, guys, 4 matches down for the Rondo Royale, 1 remaining. We're going to be going to a quick break, guys. But when we come back, the final match coming your way.
Rondo is officially here in PUBG Mobile version 3.7. It has unique scenery and loads of stores. Let's go over them together. To start off, we have the Basic Store, which can be found all over. At the Basic Store, you can purchase supplies and supply blind boxes and sell attachments. Then there's the Garage Store, which only appears by the side of the road. It's like the Basic Store, except you can purchase vehicles from it as well. If you need to get around, you know where to look. Finally, there's the much rarer Premium Store that only appears in Luohua Xing and Rinjiang. The Premium Store has all the features of the Basic Store and Garage Store, with the added option of purchasing airdrop weapons. Gaining access to the Premium Store, however, is easier said than done. It's surrounded by powerful guards. You must defeat them all to get to the store. So if you want to get your hands on advanced equipment, you'll have to challenge the guards. That's all for this introduction to Rondo stores. I hope they bring you more fun and strategic options.
Try something new, Pico Bus. Battery-powered extraordinary torque. How fast does it take to accelerate from 0 to 100? Give it a try. Intimidate your enemies. Check this out. Power up with a stun gun. Immobilize the enemy and obstruct their vision. One more thing, got blue zone anxiety? No worries, not with this. Come to Rondo and give it a try.
Version 3.7 introduces a brand new map, Rondo. Let's explore it together. It is the largest map in the game by landmass and accommodates up to 100 players at a time. Here, traditional style meets modern aesthetics beneath clear skies and sunsets. Jadina City is a dense urban sprawl of towering skyscrapers and abundant supplies. The city's prosperity flourishes under dazzling neon lights. A bridge crosses the entire city, and there are escalators and moving walkways all over to help you get around. All cities are surrounded by suburbs. Floating on water at the southern end of Rondo are Rinjiang's restaurant and luxurious waterfront residences, which offer a great view of the docks. Rondo is also home to many industries. The local NeoX factory is one of them. They manufacture all kinds of vehicles that then make their debut on the test track. Take a break from the modern opulence of the city to visit locations like Tinlong Garden or Yulin and enjoy the beautiful scenery with Eastern-style architecture. Or head to Stadium and Jiaotin to enjoy some theater and a sports event. Rondo has lots to offer no matter where you go. In addition to these diverse landscapes, Rondo also has mechanics that make it unique. When you enter Rondo, you may be randomly assigned to one of 2 planes with the rest of your team. Spreading players out like this increases the overall utilization of the map. Shops in Rondo are also unlike any other. There are basic stores and premium stores. Basic stores are common and can carry supplies, vehicles, or supply blind boxes. Its currency can be obtained by selling firearm attachments or gold bars. Gold bars are obtained from safes located throughout the map. Premium stores only appear in Rinjiang and Lohua Shine. They carry airdrop supplies, so if you're skilled enough, definitely go for them. Beware that they're patrolled by powerful guards that you must defeat before approaching. The JS-9 will drop from regular guards, and the MG-3 airdrop weapon will drop from commanders. You can also loot their helmets and armor to dress up as them and impress other players. The presence of these guards makes it very risky to land near premium stores at the start of a match. You'll likely be defeated because you won't have any gear, so tread carefully. Rondo also has a unique terrain destruction mechanic. Here, terrain can be destroyed with pickaxes, grenades, or vehicle explosions. When you're fighting in an area with minimal cover, you can use your surrounding terrain to create cover. The maximum destruction depth is 1.3 meters. Note that only the ground can be destroyed. Buildings, water, and cement are indestructible. While terraforming, all destructible objects within range will also be destroyed. There is a special area in
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Coming up, the final match of the Rondo Royale, the first ever event for this map. And Dave, I know you and I, we want it to keep going on until the very end, but unfortunately, we've already done 9 games. 10's the last number. We're about to be getting into it.
Zombie boys. Wow. winner, chicken dinner, right? Let's not gloss over that here. So with that in mind, man, who do we got next? I think Zero Fox Given. Hey.
I was thinking the same thing. Same thing.
The 2 teams I've been cheering for here might as well end the Rondo Royale $5,000 cash prize with a winner chicken dinner in the pocket here because well, it's going to be a challenge for all these teams really trying to chase down Coops and Friends. Coops and Friends, they've been doing such a great job in this tournament. They've only had 1 bad game, and that was this last match where they had 0 points, right? Besides that, consistent all weekend long. So it's going to be a tough one here, Enigma.
Yeah, but unfortunately enough, at least today, we've seen a lot of these other squads in that middle range be able to secure themselves those upper placements. Let's bring in that sort of overall for us to take that quick little glance at what we're really talking about. 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, essentially an 11-point difference. Even we can include Dauntless for that being the 15-point mark, Dave. That 2nd through 5th slots, the $900 for 2nd place. It's still up for any of these squads to have their pop-off performances secure that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though. It is going to be tough. I mean, we're looking at the elimination, 67 for Coops and Friends, 60 for Liquid, 48 for Most Wanted. Moneymakers, we were talking about them in a pre-show, very aggressive squad with 56. So most of their points coming from just straight up running and gunning. So out of this, this graphic here, who has the most potential, like as far as like being a wild card, like just one team that comes out of nowhere here in the last game, in your opinion? Not a top team, but like, you know what I'm asking for. No, wild card. Like this is their last match and
wild card.
Wild card. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I didn't expect that. Like, you
I'm
didn't
bringing
expect
it
the Zombie
back.
Boys
I'm
win.
bringing it back. Day 1, game 1. It's got to be Team Wash. Z-Fun, I
Wash.
know you're hearing it.
That's a good one.
We're talking washed. It's not going to be washed anymore. We finish off with a bang. The last game, they had those good elim counts. It's just the top 3 into the top 2 and then closing it out for the win. That's what matters. And Dave, we even see on the map feed, I'm loving it. The double plane path.
The double plane.
That's what I want.
Double planes here to end the night off. Yeah, I do appreciate you picking that squad. That's exactly what I was looking for, man. I was looking for a little bit of spice there at the end of the evening. So Zero Fox given. We got big chillin'. They're not gonna be too far from a potential fight with Next Gen. We'll have to keep tabs on that. But what a tournament. I mean, look at these planes. You got the double planes. You got nothing but options here.
Yeah.
Here's Team Wash. I believe looking for some vehicles. I thought I saw a zombie squad mate kind of scattered in around this general area. So they might be looking for a early skirmish here, Enigma.
Yeah, I'd expect the most out of it. Obviously, with the center spot with Zero Fox given as well. It actually looks like Next Gen not taking the 4v4 immediately, but one squad that definitely has moneymakers against Extreme Slayers. Extreme Slayers, they switched it up from Liquid here now against the squad that really was brawling with them all last match. But your moneymakers 1 for 1. Unfortunately, it's going to be Baton being the player eliminated. So your star player, I believe, having 28 total elims throughout this event. So falling just short. Luckily, though, Fate getting another one. Sour being the, I guess you could say, the focal point of Extreme Slayers now falling. And with moneymakers, you got to stay active. You got to keep Extreme Slayers moving on their feet.
Yeah, that one hurts, man. You do not want to get taken out early here. Fate with the vision right there. Almost getting thirsted, actually.
Wow.
Here comes the squad mates. Crow for support here. MP5K right there. Pow! Got him.
Yeah,
Got him. But Baton is done.
Ooh.
So how's that going to affect the MVP race?
I think we were looking somewhere close. It was a Liquid Vincier player right up there at the beginning of the broadcast. I believe now with Coops and Friends getting a win or two, one of their members is up in the race, but Baton is the one spearheading it. All he has to do now is watch and try to have these other players next to him, because it's not like it's the squad. We're talking individual players not popping off in this final match. And unfortunately, that is a monumental task, maybe, to ask for other players not to perform. But
yeah, hey, just don't do nothing, please.
Yeah, just go out early. The blue zone,
early.
just don't matter about it. Give me the 200.
Wow, that's gotta be frustrating, because there's gonna be a cash prize for the MVP role, and of course the clout that is associated with being the best of the lobby here for the first ever official PUBG Mobile sanctioned Rondo Royale Esports show match event. $5,000 on the line. So always feels good to have that flex in the bio. MVP on the first ever Rondo Royale, right?
I mean, put everything, any sort of pedigree, you might as well start with something. And with there being a lot of big names in here, it's not like we're playing around with the cash prize or anything. These people are showing up. They're looking to win. They're trying to see themselves as the best of Rondo, especially with the chance of it being in the competitive circuit. So these squads, it's all about building that name for yourself. Why not start small, like an NA, and then build to something more? It always takes that one step, Dave, and most people, I think they honestly forget that.
One step at a time here as we get a nice little vantage point of the Neo X compound here once again. One of my favorite spots on the map, not too far from the test track. So once when the vehicle is complete from the factory, you get to go test it over there and really see how fast that bad boy goes. Make sure you got all the trimmings and all the LED lights that you've ordered. As guests doing just that out there in the distance. 2 members of Zero Fox given. Gonna be spectating, just watching them pick up that vehicle. Gonna be right there on the edge of the play zone, but we're starting to see and hear some shots ring out. Team Wash looking for another game back to back where they're getting involved here early on.
Yeah, this is going to be the center spot of circle on this eastern edge of the river that we just witnessed. But unfortunately, Zfon, Team Wash, they're not getting spots to really move back. Basically, all of them kind of spread out, leaving it up to Bruno's end to kind of tangle them out one by one. The bus going to blow up at some point, not finding the mark on the offensive base at all, but Vitaly's got the cleanup. Another one down, and I believe that's going to leave Team Wash as a solo. So center spot, they had the positioning, but unfortunately just crumbling in the first engagement they took.
It happens, man. It happens. Also, to note, we're in the EMP zone. So the cars, if it's battery powered, it comes to a halt. It does not move. Just like the crosshairs. So they just straight up stalled over there.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Maybe that was it then. They got
EMP
caught
zones,
on
man.
the hill. And now, I mean, if you're Zfon, you just gotta watch from afar. I guess the EMP zone's not gonna bleed out your teammate, but the timers will. And I think Inco Gaming, they understand exactly where he's at. Gonna be just that 4v1 situation. I don't expect them obviously to win it here, Dave, but there is the chance that Zfon pulls out some clutch genes out of them and maybe puts on another highlight reel for us.
That's what we're looking for here. Some highlightable plays, especially in the last match of the Rondo Royale, game 10 out of 10. G-Fon live, YT, last one alive here. Last one alive. Man, they just came off of a game where they had like 8 eliminations here, so
Yeah.
unlucky. But hey, man, 1v4. It's possible.
Got the nade though. A little bit of smoke action going down, but doesn't hear him coming up the stairs. That's going to be all 4 players down, all 4 elims to their name, and 2 stragglers potentially cut off from the most wanted squad, catching people on rotation. And this is the thing with Rondo I'd like to make note of, David.
Make a note.
You never know what the pathing is that a lot of these teams choose to make. So when they're going for these rotations, you might be driving right up onto a 4-man. We saw last game with Burn and Silence on that eastern edge. Now it's most wanted catching off, I believe, one of the SON players on vehicle rotation. So Rondo always kind of having that wrench in the plans for people, and I'm still all for it.
Dog, Rondo.
The big dog.
Big dog. Things are getting wild out here. Straight on Paul, though, when we're looking at teams who definitely like improved from day to day, Straight Out of Paul is that team, in my opinion, right? Like,
Yeah.
totally improved here on day number 2 compared to what we were seeing from them on day number 1. Yeah, day number 1, they had one really good game, 10 eliminations, but that was it, right? Like, that's probably where most of their points came from. But today, they been playing a lot better here. You can tell they did some studying overnight. Saw them in a lot of engagements here today. So last match of the evening, they did lose one of their squad mates though, so it is going to set them back here just a little bit. But I recall before this game, they were in 7th place, so right behind Dauntless, right behind Moneymakers. So definitely looking to maybe overcome and get a little more money on the line. And that's what I'm talking about. Frankie in the elimination feed getting a nice pick on the Dauntless squad mates here.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone's just taking shots at him. The vehicle rotations through the field, having 3 squads, I think it was, taking shots. Not just Liquid Vincier, but also X-Force peppering you down. And both of those players in that vehicle actually were 1 HP. Klaus going down. It could have essentially been a solo remaining on this rotation, but lucky enough for Dauntless, they were able to kind of get into a safe spot of the circle. But we're still talking stage 1. There's still a lot of movement.
We're only in
for you
stage
to
1?
yeah.
Holy cow.
We're talking 12 teams.
Oh,
that's
goodness.
4 squads out of the lobby, right? So these teams, they're still feeling the brunt. That is Rondo and Angel Esports. Early on, SON making rotations.
I can't believe we're only in stage 1 and we've already had this much action. Like you said, losing a couple squads early on. A lot of our teams, though, they're going to be looking to favor the west side of the water here. Kind of a similar deja vu from last game where we had a lot of water kind of just straight up dividing the zone right down the middle. So a lot of teams going to be opting to go on that west side. I want to see the zone just yoink to the east and really put them through the ringer here. And well, X-Force, they're going to be holding down that bridge for the most part that takes you to the city. So that could be a classic Rondo bridge camp. We saw one of these bridge camps yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite point on this map is that bridge. Comes out
My
that main
favorite
city.
part of it is the bridges themselves are actually quite long. They're not those short kind of Sandhawk or Erangel bridges. You've got maybe 50, 60 meters of bridge you got to cross. And I'm really hoping it goes, okay, a little bit of it is in play. Jade City here on this eastern side. If X-Force was really able to just make it to that other side of the bridge, they kind of hedge their bets on it. I would love to see it go right towards that city POI because we've only really seen one, right? One POI in one of the name spots.
Yep.
I'm wanting to see more of it, or at least this water play might be a factor again, just in a different section of it. But these squads, it's always going to be a matter of how you can get into the circle, and the water doesn't make it easy.
Big Ball loving the long bridge. Learn something new every day. As looks like X-Force, they're going to be zooming over that bridge. And over here, you got Coops and friends trying to survive. Inko on the rooftops right here, taking some shots down range. Going to be missing the mark, but hold up. Dauntless. X-Force just crossing that bridge, trying to get the grenades. One going to be connecting. Two members of Dauntless actually going to be down and out. Remember, Klaus was thirsted on the rotate earlier on. XP3 though, talk about the bridge traffic jam. Oh, they are just piling up the vehicles, and XP3 has some really good sight lines from downtown. That was a beautiful spray right there. Holy cow, knocking them out the vehicle.
Yeah, I think he got both of the players, one in each separate side, and now we're seeing it. Liquid Vincier, they're moving up, and wait a second, the stun gun missed, Dave. He went for it. Unfortunately now, 1v3 spot for Dauntless, make it 1v2.
The stun gun.
Getting the reset as well, and I appreciate the effort. Shout out Liquid Vincier, but now you got to turn your sights, Dave, to the X-Force team, looking to take this third-party action back on this side of the bridge.
Pulling up. I would have just full on sent it right there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like the team's on the same page, unfortunately. 3-Point is going to be doing some scouting, but yeah, that was my fear. You're allowing Liquid to kind of get the heels up and catch their bearings, right? Really get away of the land here when moments ago they're kind of just cleaning up and previously finished the Dauntless fight, right? So they might not have been prepared to take and defend up against an instant crash, but 3-Point right there kind of showing their hand a little too early, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the scary part of it too was right as he got knocked, I'm not sure if he didn't have a helmet, but when he got knocked and finished there, no helmet to his name, so that damage from the solo of S1 really kind of just throwing a wrench in the plans, making sure that, hey, you don't realize this, but your helmet is 1 HP, and the shots are like that. A lot of flat terrain around some of these compounds. It's very easy, very kind of vested for these players to go for those vehicle shots. And now with you not having the helmets, I mean, it's basically a freebie at this stage of the game. And we're still talking action, Dave. It's still only stage 2. 9 teams remaining. The bridges are making everything happen for these squads.
Wow, stage 2. My goodness. This is how I want every Rondo match to be. Just non-stop action, honestly. It's been been a nice final game of the Rondo Royale. We got Pizza Steve showing up here. You'll love to see it. Pizza Steve out there in the distance trying to avoid the crosshairs of Coops and friends, looking to put their final stamp on the Rondo Royale cash prize. Pizza Steve doing Pizza Steve things out here. Talk about MVP. I mean, this is my MVP in life here.
Your MVP in life?
My MVP in life. That's my spirit animal. Pizza Steve.
Pizza Steve. What about Bob? What happened to Bob, love? Dave. What happened?
Bob's dangerous. Bob's dangerous. You gotta watch out for Bob, man. Just watch out for Bob.
Bob's your Keanu Reeves? Dave, is that what I'm hearing?
That's what you're hearing, yeah.
The guy you don't want to mess with.
You don't want to mess with. You don't want to take his dog. That's for sure.
Dogs for the
Peace to
most
Steve,
part.
though. Peace to Steve. Welcoming, you know, chill guy. Always down to hang out.
Ooh. I don't know about chill. Doran really kind of trying to put your boy in his place, Dave. But now with it being, we're talking, this is going to be on the eastern edge of the circle. It's shifted all the way up north, right on the moneymaker spot. I'm interested in seeing where these teams really kind of choose to situate themselves, because most wanted, they sat up there on the north. They've been sitting real nice and quiet. And now, right as I say that, Valak picking off a knock and thirst on the moneymakers players, spreading themselves a bit too thin maybe on the hillside. And these squads, it's starting to get closer and closer to each other, especially with the amount of water in play. It's resulting in these squads fighting early.
Uh-oh. Looks like Tech 24 from Zero Fox given the last team mate alive, the solo. Trying to avoid the Molotovs. McGrellan looking real thirsty right now. Inco, 6 eliminations. The whole team's alive. Inco, this is the Inco that I was looking forward to witnessing here tonight. We saw a glimpse of this Inco last night with their aggressive plays and just constantly getting eliminations throughout the evening. Kind of sizzled out here just a little bit, but now in the final map of the evening, feeling a lot more warmed up, a lot more loose. It does look like they're really trying to get that last point over there, but they also need to be cautious not to overextend, because we can see up there on the hilltops, they're going to be pinned down right now by Most Wanted, who are sitting on 8 eliminations themselves.
Yeah, it looks like make it 9. Robs was able to pick up that Zero Fox given solo that Inco Gaming essentially did all the work for, right? 75 frag grenades thrown, now just getting stolen away. They really wish it was the 7 elimination mark for Inco Gaming and not Most Wanted stealing it away. But second thought, a lot of these shots are just for the damage stat. I'm not really going to picture anything coming to fruition, but with the circle shift, you got to be careful seeing where it kind of ends up. And for the most part, it actually goes all the way down south, Dave. The north side,
whoa, look at the water.
For the most part, yeah, what is that, 50%?
50%
of water taking the zone.
Yeah, that's a lot of water here. That's exactly what I want to see on my final map of the Rondo Royale. I mean, look at that liquid down there in the south. What a better name to be the guardians of the inlet. We're gonna be on this bridge. What a bridge, man. Nice long bridge, like you like it. Looks like they're gonna be rolling right behind X-Force. X-Force have no idea what's about to unfold right behind them.
Well, I think Alem hears it, but the issue is it's only one of them there. Where's the rest of the squad? He doesn't even notice what's driving up. One of them can stop on the bridge, but Ling, he just absolutely just cleans house. The MG3 just really making wonders happen. X-Force now down to just Serums, 1v3 position. Into the 1v1 and shot right through the windows of the Dacia. Not going to find it. That's going to be 8th place for the solo. That is X-Force. And now, Liquid Vince here, you're hyping them up, Dave. They've got the control of the water on the south side. The question is, can they continue to hold it with these later shifts?
Yeah, I mean, looking at where they're at now and just kind of thinking back at the overalls before we got into this game, they needed a miracle, right? They needed like 30 points to catch up, and that's not even considering groups and friends on what type of points they're going to be acquiring themselves, right? But the fact is, they're putting themselves in a position to really sweep the edge, clean up these fights, get into the action early. And they're doing just that, because Liquid currently sitting on 8 eliminations. They got Burn in Silence right over the hilltop, and they're not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, it looks like they're knocked. They had gotten initially on a Burn in Silence, almost got stolen by the Zombie Boys, but thankfully for them, did finish off in the blue zone. But that last player did go to the Zombie Boys. Another team as well that was running in. Gonna be Coops and Friends picking up the last straggler, and we're talking stage 4, 6 teams remaining. That water in play, Dave. I mean, this is essentially a stage 6 or 7.
Without a doubt. Wancho, M4 3 times, just kind of poking their head over there, getting away to land. Inco, another squad who has been steamrolling in the final map of the Rondo Royale. Inko sitting on 6 eliminations. If you're Coops and friends, you're not really getting nervous, but you also don't want to be eliminated here with only 2 points. You really want to, put your final stamp on this event and maybe even go out with that winner chicken dinner. It looks like they're going to be playing a little bit passive here, holding down the compound right there on the edge of the play zone. Next circle does go up, so Liquid holding down the south, Coops and friends holding down the north.
Oh, look at this. I mean, I thought Coops and friends would kind of hold off, but with Inko Gaming given all this room, Coops is really looking for that opening knock. If they have control of the hillside, they really can just clean up this fight. And we're seeing actually the 2-2 split. Inko Gaming not sure if they want to go east or west on the rotation now. Coops and friends maybe making the decision for them, having to take this initial fight. And with the zone to their backs, Dave, we're talking Coops and friends having to be the ones to play passive. It's on Inko to really make their moment in this match and really get into that top finish.
Yeah, Inko looking to overtake a couple of their opponents ahead of them to get a little more money. That was Zombie Boy, Strand and Paul, Dauntless, Moneymakers. So Inko, I know those couple squads ahead of them weren't too far off the mark when it comes to trying to climb up the leaderboard here in the final game. So they're ready to go. 2 vehicles looking for the reposition. One of their squad mates has a grenade ready to let it rip. They're going to be going towards the shoreline here, actually. Really going for this winner chicken dinner. Oh, pulling up, actually. Oh, shoot. Pulling up.
Yeah, it's going to be on a most wanted 10,
Most
so the
wanted,
one
right
caboose in it. He got the nade out, but unfortunately it actually is going to hit the mark. McGrellin just sitting on it right there. Tensa unfortunately getting traded out, but both squads have a member up close. Nox trying to get the damage, not going to find the mark, and it's a matter of this 2v2. How do you play it? How does the ridge really commence? The S12K comes into SnowX's favor. Collie now struggling to find the shot. Good damage, and now gets it. No one else on most wanted up closer. Dave Valak forced to watch from afar. And look at this. I mean, Inko Gaming, they're all together. Yeah, the zone's coming in, but I think they've got time to get these resets going.
Yeah, now they do, without a doubt. And they have the cover of the land, too, to really avoid the sightlines from Valak. So they can just kind of look ahead towards trying to figure out how to get into the play zone. Valak might be done and dusted as well, because one of the members from Liquid hearing the action on the shoreline, looking to investigate it themselves. So McGrellin going to be pulling up into the circle right ahead of Coops and friends, looking to press the envelope. McGrellin with a nice knock. Make that 2 knocks going towards McGrellin. Looking to take out Coops and friends as a one-man wrecking ball out here. A grenade from downtown. Coops and friends getting picked apart from Inko Gaming. This should be it for Coops and friends with the Zombie Boys. Looking for the third party. Finally, the run over. Coops and friends down and out with the Zombie Boys looking for a back-to-back chicken dinner.
Yeah, they got all 4 players. One of them knocked on Inko. They understand what is at stake here. And Pizza Steve, he's got the nade right up close and personal. Gets knocked for it, but the damage might be enough. Look, he's trying to get the shots. The Zombie Boys giving him another 2-piece. Really not something you like seeing in Inko Gaming. They're really trying to hold on to this, Dave. They want that extra cash prize, but Liquid Vince here, they're coming in now for the 4th party on this fight.
Crazy, really low. Trevor on the back line behind the tree, spotted, trying to avoid these shots. 5-5-6 Zombie Boys, though, almost down and out. Very aggressive push from them. A lot of grenades coming out here into this bowl from Liquid, trying to hit the mark.
There's one.
We see them jumping up and down, playing dodgeball. Kaboom! That's good. Leaving just one more member of Inko alive, and they're done and dusted. Liquid putting them through the shredder. 18 eliminations right now on Liquid. There's one more Zombie Boy putting a roadblock in the final winner chicken dinner for Liquid in their come-up attempt on the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about he's trying not even to give him the points, stay in the blue zone, but Liquid have been here. They want the points, just like yesterday. They want to finish off strong with the win, and the nade comes in, getting them just low, and I think he did get it. Yes, winner chicken dinner. Liquid been here, baby. I mean, what was that, Dave? 19 eliminations. They were a 3-man most of that game, but for them to come in right at the end, just like yesterday. I mean, that's what we wanted to see in this final match.
I love the circles there, by the way. The water really cranking up the heat at the end. So Liquid, 19 eliminations. Yesterday we had 21, right? 21, or was it 20?
21.
21 for the Rondo Royale record. But 19, that's one heck of a game right there. Guling, by the way, with 12 of those eliminations. So
wow,
my dude was popping off. Inco Gaming, this is the Inco that I knew. This is who I knew they were, right? Like the aggressive squad from start to finish, just not scared, not hesitating at all. We saw a lot of hesitation from Inco throughout this tournament, with some moments of the true Inco playstyle. And this last game was just that, 12 eliminations going the way of Inco as well. What a great end to the tournament. I mean, game 10 right there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have asked for anything more, right? We saw the water come into play. We saw one of the POIs as the hotspot, and essentially every match, it came down to either the deployable cover or the dips that these people were able to make from just the utility usage that all these teams had. And really right there at the end, when some people are in that flow state, like Liquid Vincier, it's just one after another. You were talking about it with it being dodgeball for Inco Gaming, and it's really just both of them, you know, one after another, making you always move, and you're never going to be able to get that safe reset. That's how you want to play competitive PUBG Mobile if you're in LV spot. And for the most part, I mean, they really showed, especially at the end of the days, they were able to get their ball rolling, whatever figurative way you want to be looking at it. And that final match, both days, essentially finishing it off with just a super high elim winner chicken dinner for them.
New map, Rondo. Who it is? 8x8, the largest map in the game here. Up to 100 players can participate. Supported weather, sunny, sunset. Map is still under beta, but my goodness, am I feeling like it is ready to go. It is ready to go, man. We saw the EMP zones. We saw the terrain destruction. A lot of that. We saw the 2 flight routes. Pretty cool. I loved it. Rondo. One heck of a map here. So Enigma, who won, man?
They're giving us the green light. We're able to bring it in right now. The champions, first place, the team winning off that few $1,000s on the line. Let's see who it is, baby. I kind of have an idea. It is going to be Hoops and Friends winning. Essentially, only a third of the match. We've seen them in the gauntlet falling just short. Thankfully, this time around for the Rondo Royale, they're able to finish off strong and get that first place prize.
That's a feels good, man, because you were talking about their performance in the gauntlet, losing it by 2 points. Well, guess what? Rondo Royale, look at that little baby trophy. You get that trophy and you get the cash prize. So shout out to Coops and Friends. I'm hoping this becomes a team, man. I am hoping like this is a squad to keep your eye on here when it comes to competitive PUBG Mobile in North America. It has been such a pleasure to be able to watch them in particular. But let's check out the overall leaderboards. Why not pull them up? Let's see who else got some cash money out here, baby. And Liquid ended up in that second place.
Yeah, that game, unfortunately, just not enough to catch up to Coops and Friends, but of course, a valiant effort. They actually finished with more eliminations than Coops and Friends throughout the 10 total matches, so really stellar stuff from the squad. We're talking $900 in their pocket. I was also interested in seeing how that 3rd through 5th place kind of evened out. It was pretty close coming into that 4th and 5th match here tonight, but fortunate enough for these squads, most wanted, moneymakers, dauntless, all getting their piece of the cut. And of course, Dave, we got to shout out the rest of the teams in this lobby. I feel like every team here had their moments on the broadcast that you and I were able to watch that really just showed the presence that they're able to have here on Rondo.
The first ever Rondo Royale. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tag the socials. Let us know, should we have a Rondo Royale number 2? I love to watch teams kind of form and participate in these very fun matches. I mean, heck, this map Probably my second favorite behind
Really?
Candy.
Okay.
I'm a Candy. All right, I'm a big
Okay.
Candy guy. You got the Zima on there, but Rondo Royale. Shout out to all those teams that participated. Enigma. Final thoughts, final words from the mastermind himself.
The mastermind, I mean, for the most part, it's these people now adding to the brain that is Enigma. Seeing this map really get played on this competitive side really shows the potential that it has. I hope these sort of additions they have, whether it's the pickaxe, the jammer backpack, that's essentially the level 2 backpack for zones, and obviously the deployable cover. I'd love to see it on our other competitive matches, and I'm not sure how long it'll take for us to potentially see Rondo in the competitive circuit, but me and hopefully the other players, I'm all for it.
Shout out to the team putting on the production here. Shout out to the players performing the last 2 nights. And of course, shout out to PUBG Mobile putting together this event for the Rondo Royale $5,000 cash prize. That's going to be it for Enigma. That's going to be it for Mustache Dave. Until next time, keep playing PUBG Mobile.